Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard. I'm joined by Monica Lily Padman.
Hi, Dax Randall.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm in the attic. I'm solo in the attic.
And your work's just about done, so you're about to go indulge, right?
Yeah. I don't know what that means yet. Like, what's it going to be? Pizza?
Dinner, maybe some wine, some vino tinto, bottle of white, bottle of red, maybe a rosé tonight.
Is that a song you've made up or is it real?
No, Scenes from Italian Restaurant, Billy Joel. I love it because it's about 9 songs in one. And there's even a part in the middle you might recognize where all of a sudden it goes, Brenda and Eddie were the popular steadies, the king and the queen of the prom. Do-do. You know that one?
I do know that. I didn't know they talked about rosé.
Well, it's a very interesting song. It goes everywhere. The beginning is like, whatever they in the mood tonight. Da 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 from the Italian restaurant. And then it changes, fucking shifts gears. Clutch in, clutch out. Second gear. Brenda and Eddie were the popular steadies, the king and the queen of the prom.
Wow.
Yeah, and then tells you a whole story about poor Brenda and Eddie. They didn't make it. They got married and then they didn't make it. They got a couple paintings from Sears, though.
Oh, my God.
That's in the song. Yeah.
So specific.
It is. It was. I think it's virtually about my mom and my dad, and I think that's why they identified so much. They were Brenda and Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Neither Brenda nor Eddie is here today, but Zoey Deutch is. She is an actor and a producer. She was in Set It Up, Everybody Wants Some, Buffaloed, The Outfit, Zombieland Double Tap, The Politician. She has a new movie out on Hulu called Not Okay, which is a very fun satire of popular day
Cancel culture.
cancel culture, social media life, the whole thing, online and personas,
Yes.
persona non grata. None of that matters. None of that matters at all. To me, Zoey Deutch was really fun and awesome.
Very fun. In the attic. She's my style icon, as you'll hear.
Your style icon and also a Formula One fan, which
Yes.
gave her and I a ton to talk about. I really got to geek out, which was special.
Yeah, we get into it.
Please enjoy Zoey Deutch.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
I did say to Kristen 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I said, do you know Zoey Deutch? She reminds me a lot of you. You remind me a lot of her.
Is that a compliment?
That would be the dream.
Oh.
Well, you remind me a lot of her.
Yeah, me too. When I was watching you on Fallon today, you're really confident. You're so good on a talk show. It's crazy. Very
relaxed.
few. First of all, you look so tiny right now.
What do you mean get relaxed? Don't I look relaxed?
I'm like
Perfect.
super relaxed.
I hope you're getting a picture of the fact that I just sat down and immediately
You lost a button.
No, that's sort of my vibe.
Oh, you
It's a good
unbuttoned
vibe.
it.
It's a
Yeah.
good sitting vibe.
I want to be cozy. You said get comfortable, and I thought I'll just undo my
Yeah.
pants.
Did you ever do the thing with the rubber band, that hack?
I've seen that. I don't do it.
Okay.
Do you do that?
No, I have no need to. I'm wearing a lot of elastic slacks in my older age. These are elastic. They have a drawstring.
It's the word slacks that gives off
That dates
older
me.
age. It's not the slacks. It's the word slacks.
I'm trying to teach him about trouser, and he won't adopt it.
Trouser is much more sophisticated.
It is.
Slacks is
Your grandpa wore slacks.
for sure. Zoot suit, slacks, and
Sure.
Dungarees. It's really dungarees, but I like to pronounce it dungarees. You like trousers. It
I
makes
do.
me think of not a nice euphemism for a pee-pee, which is one-eyed trouser browser.
Oh, wow.
That's the only time I
Never
ever heard the
heard
word
it.
trousers when people were saying trouser browser.
Okay.
So it has a sexual connotation. I don't like to do that in front of especially ladies.
Oh, yeah, you never.
Never.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
Over
like
my
you.
dead
No,
body.
you're
Never.
so prude.
So
I know.
careful.
I dressed for Zoey today.
Well, I was just going to say, before you walked in, Monica was like, I really like her. She's one of my style icons.
Yeah, you're one of my style icons.
Monica.
Yeah.
Money.
And I thought today, I was like, oh shit, I gotta wear something cool.
You do every day,
Thank
though.
you.
Really dress for the nines? No. Trousers?
nines.
To the nines.
To the trousers.
To the trousers. You look fantastic. I'm disappointing since I'm wearing a shirt with armpit stains
No, you're pulling it
to
off.
the bottom of the shirt. Like I didn't even know that was.
You wore like a sweater on your shoulder. That's like cool.
That's because I was hiding the armpit stains. There's no one that sweats more in the world. I actually recently tried to get Botox in my armpits. Did you know about that?
heard
Oh,
about
you
this.
can do that.
Yeah. It didn't work. My body laughed at me. It had other plans
Yeah.
for what had
Thought
to
it was
happen.
cute what you tried.
There's no amount of any deodorant to stop the sweat.
and you won't use an antiperspirant,
No,
right?
I-
Because
of
of
course
the
I do.
aluminum.
Of
You
course
will.
I-
You fuck it. Who cares about the
She
aluminum?
has to.
Fuck it.
This is wild.
Yeah,
this is one of the most dangerous things I've heard.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
fucking
a lot of people
reckless.
do.
I'm a rock star.
Yeah, you're putting aluminum all in your armpits.
And then Botox in my arms. I'm fucking nuts.
Even I stopped with the antiperspirant about 12 years ago. I'm just deodorant. I get damp in there.
don't
I want to put
smell
my
them.
hands in there.
Go
Is that
ahead.
weird?
No, go ahead. Touch it.
When we're outside getting a photo, we'll get one of me warming my hands up like you do when you're.
It's pretty cold in here, though. You might dry up by then.
Oh, no, the cold doesn't.
Okay.
It has no effect. It's not related at all.
Oh, it has nothing to do with the temperature. It has everything to do with probably
Hydration.
Oh, that is also an issue. Remember when I said if I can make it through this interview without peeing, it'll be a miracle?
Yeah.
I drink a sip of water, immediately have to pee.
Your body wants to get all the water out.
I'm learning a lot already about
Yeah.
myself.
What if it's a disease?
I'm sure it is.
I think
I'll
you
find
have a
out.
really active thyroid.
I do actually, by the way. I have
there
a thyroid
we go.
problem.
Graves' disease?
I have Hashimoto's,
Oh, interesting.
but it manifests the opposite. I
Yours is
have
hyper, not hypo.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys are now like psychic. You guys got down.
Wow, right down to the. You know Hashimoto's?
Isn't it serious?
No,
Is it?
it's fine.
No, if I want people to feel bad for me, I'll say it's serious. Also, the name sounds so intense. This is the most Jewish thing that within like 2 seconds, I somehow am telling you guys all my medical issues and asking yours. This is like the
Okay.
most immediately, like you're getting a full scope of who I am. I sweat. I have to pee. I have Hashimoto. I mean, that stereotype of Jews being obsessed with health, it's rooted in something deeper.
Of course.
Obviously.
Sure.
I mean,
real sense of fatality.
right. Everybody's trying to
appropriately.
kill you all the time. You're like,
Yep.
all right, we got to figure out how to stay alive. So let's just,
Yeah.
let's hold on tight.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, if you avoid the many, many threats, how embarrassing it would be you go down for psoriatic arthritis. You got to stay on top of it.
Totally.
Yeah,
Death by UTI would suck. You just got to
Can
really.
you die from it?
For sure.
absolutely.
UTI?
You
There-
could get septic and
Yeah.
I knew it.
untreated. You knew it.
It's really dangerous, actually.
Are you guys both good? Shall I proceed? The thing I wanted to immediately talk about is that you have 5 names.
I do. Oh yeah.
Zoe Francis, Chaya, Thompson, Deutch. And so my first thought was your parents just can't compromise, huh? Are they a couple that can compromise?
My mom makes every decision. I was listening to your guys' episode with, I can't believe I'm going to compare my father to Obama when he was like, yeah,
My
well, it's
daughter's
2 girls.
Zoe.
Oh my God.
All they do is sit around the table and they just make fun of me. And that's our life. We just make fun of my dad has no power, no
yeah.
dignity, which has affected how I treat men in a very interesting way. But
We're putting a pin in that.
but my mother makes all the decisions. She definitely did the naming. The Zoe, my sister named me Zoe. Frances was my great grandmother's name.
Okay.
Chaya is my Hebrew name.
Okay.
L'chaim.
It's the tail end of L'chaim.
Exactly.
It's the
Without the
suffix.
Thompson is my mom's last name, and Deutsch is my father's.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Well, you can see though where I was like, well, I think the dad was like, well, I'm getting Zoe and Chaya, and then your mom was like, well, I'm getting Francis and Thompson. And then they were like, well, I guess we got to go Deutsch. It's somewhere in here. Everyone gets what they want.
You and TSA were very confused by my last name.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So before I bring them up, are you someone that would rather not talk about your parents, or do you enjoy talking about your parents? It can go either way when you have famous parents, obviously.
Love my parents.
You love your parents. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I knew about you. I met your dad one time. He was directing a movie my girlfriend was in. He had come over to her house and they were chatting about whatever. And I sat there during all that and I really adored him. So then I knew, because the name is so unique, that you were the daughter of him. And then it was not till this morning that I found out who your mother was.
You probably should tell the world.
Okay, well, first let's go to your dad. Very instrumental in my childhood. Pretty in Pink. Seminal movie. Her father directed.
Seminal.
Seminal. It's a
Seminal.
weird word.
Seminal.
Some kind of wonderful.
Wow.
If you have a favorite movie of your father's, is it Some Kind of Wonderful? Mary Stuart Masterson in that movie?
I love that movie, and it's where my parents met.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But I love Mary Stuart Masterson in that movie. She's a drummer. She's in love with this boy, but the boy's in love with Zoe's mother. And then she goes up to her and she says, you break his heart, I'll break your face. And she's got her drumming gloves on. Did I fuck up the line?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay.
But my mom wanted that part. And she turned down the movie because my dad didn't offer her that part. And then I think Howard the Duck came out and bombed, which was the first
Okay.
Marvel movie ever made. And she was like, fuck. She then was like, okay, I guess I gotta do this movie. And then that's how they. But she wanted that part. That was a better part, of course. It
It's the fun part.
was a way better part than the one
Yeah.
she had.
Also, you had just had the standard disinterest in your parents that all children should have. I get it.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to be wowed by their parents.
No.
They're just always going to be their parents.
No, until maybe you become a parent and you're like, wow, you were a parent.
Well,
Maybe? I don't know.
That for sure. You'll be thinking about the fact that your mother raised 2 daughters and still worked and all those things. I do wonder, did you ever have the moment where Some Kind of Wonderful, Pretty in Pink, Great Outdoors, 3 John Hughes movies, very special that he got to be in
That is
collaboration
really
with John
cool.
Hughes, one of the most
Yeah.
special people to ever do this. Then Mom, and this blew my mind, that your mother is Leah Thompson, Marty McFly's sexy mom, if you don't realize. Also, Some Kind of Wonderful. Also, Caroline in the City. Caroline in the City or Caroline?
Caroline. I
Caroline in the City? Okay.
Again, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, who would know?
I was being breastfed on that.
Were
set.
you?
I don't know.
Aw.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
The only thing that interests my children, of course, about a set is the craft service. Of
course.
Did you just spend all your time?
Oh, yeah. Well, the craft service truck and the hair and makeup trailer. My first word was, I believe, gippic, which was lipstick. I was very.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a video of me sitting on my mom's lap saying, I want to be an actor. It is what it is. I grew up on a set.
Yeah.
Stealing from the craft service truck.
And your sister's 2 years older than you?
She's 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Are you guys so different?
Ooh, we are, I think, so different. I try to copy everything of hers. I just fail because younger
Yeah.
sibling stuff. But
Is she a fashion icon too?
she's simply a fashion icon, smartest person I know.
We like that.
Really gifted at everything.
Oh wow. Firstborn?
Yeah, oh yeah. Everything I do, I seek her approval. This is her favorite. I'm so nervous to be here, by the way.
Oh, are
One,
you?
because I think you guys are so smart and interesting. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to say here? But even more than that, my sister loves this. Even right now, like I'm about to, I'm like, I just want to. I'm like, oh my God. I text her. She's like, oh my God.
I want to say hi to her.
Yeah, Maddie.
Maddie, we love you. Thanks for listening. Do you think she'd call herself an armchair?
For sure.
Oh my God, Maddie's an armchair. Well, you're right. Sounds like she is very smart and cool. Now I know.
She's the most emotionally intelligent person I know. They just seek validation in everything. And she's had to create space there.
Some boundaries.
Literally, if I'm getting my nails done, I have to ask for which color she thinks is okay. And then she started not responding right away.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
This is time sensitive. I'm here. They're
this
doing
is
it
the
now.
end of the world.
Yeah,
Oh my
what
gosh.
color?
Ballet slipper, or do I put it in neutral? Like which fucking OPI color?
Wow.
Wait, is that the one that MGK invented? What's his nail polish? Do we know?
I don't
Machine
know.
Machine Gun Kelly,
Kelly?
he has a nail polish.
That he
I
invented?
learned it in the documentary. Another business he has. UNDN. Do you know
Is
that
this
nail
sponsor
polish?
for this episode?
We're
He's
hoping.
sponsoring this episode. Yeah, it's the first time ever an
Yeah,
individual.
right. Come on.
What I wanted to say was, I think you have an advantage as an actor, being a younger sibling, and I'll tell you why. My oldest daughter, is it eldest or oldest?
Eldest?
I think it's whatever.
But it sounds grandma-y. My eldest daughter,
Sounds
like
flaxy.
exactly. You're quick. You're really quick.
Slaxy.
I didn't even have to edit out a pause. I just like
no, she's lightning
Yeah.
fast. What I notice is my oldest daughter, if we were to withhold approval for something, it would affect her so much. If we withhold approval from the younger one, she could give a flying fuck because she's been rejected like 300 times a day since she was born.
Wow.
And I'd say you probably, as a younger sister, were rejected by her all the time.
That's a really interesting perspective.
For auditioning, you're like, yeah, maybe they're going to hate me. Maybe they're going to like me. It's got to be in the mix a little bit. Do you think it's added to any confidence in that realm?
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm just becoming aware of it. I think it's actually hurtful, not helpful. I had such blind confidence when I started working at 15. There was no route of failure. There was just success. And
Yeah.
even when I would get rejected time and time again, and movie would bomb, or I would get cut out, or I would be replaced, or anything under the sun that would happen, I was like, there's nothing that can stop this fucking train. Like
Yeah.
absolutely blind ambition. And it's only now that I'm seeing that and going, wow, what was that? Who was that? Why was that? And I don't feel that way now. It's just, I'm like, what if it doesn't happen the way that I thought it would? And what if this path is a little bit different?
Well, something interesting has now happened to you career-wise. If you look at the trajectory, it's like at one point it's something you're going to get. And it's much different to then get the thing you were looking to get. then fear can come in because you're like, well, I don't want to lose
How do
this
I
now.
maintain
You
this?
can't lose it as you're chasing it. You don't have it to lose. But then when you have it, when you're the lead of movies and you're on the poster of things, it does cross your mind. Well, now that's mine to lose. No?
No, to be honest, there was this expectation I put on myself and that was put on me from probably 18 when I started really, really working. I was being compared to people that had astronomical, quote unquote, success. Everyone defines success in different ways, putting me on those next lists or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've been being put on those next lists for 10 years. And I'm like, that's not it. I'm just going to keep working and doing these weird movies and doing it a little differently.
I think you would be the person they would say a 20-year-old is going to be the next.
Absolutely not. No.
I think so, don't you?
Also-
I'm pretty out to lunch when it comes to
No,
anyone
I'm-
under 47, so forgive me for that. I think
Entertainment
you're
has
like an
changed.
Emma Stone now.
No, exactly.
The landscape has changed.
How would anyone even know now? It used to be you would be the lead of a movie and it opened. That was the barometer. That was the metric. That doesn't exist anymore. The strata have eroded so much that it would be hard to really anoint someone at this point, I think.
Totally. The thing that I didn't get to, which is that I feel like I was like reading a book this close and it was like all blurry and all of a sudden I'm going like this and I'm like, wait a minute, that is not what it looked like to me at the time. And I'm grateful for how it's gone and how it's going. And it's different than I was told it was going to go. And I'm not 100% certain that everything's going to go.
Continue to just be upward incline.
For sure, not that.
When you're not the singular face on a poster, you're never really being evaluated by the project. Unless you're the face on the poster, you're not really going to bear the hit of it. So the stakes change. You in Zombieland is much different than you in Not Okay. These are just objectively different propositions. Would you agree?
Yes. The first movie I did, I had my face on the poster. I was young and it was very large budget and it was a Harvey Weinstein movie and it did not do well.
Okay.
It did actually bad.
Poorly. Okay. I know those well.
And same. And it was just destroyed by the critics.
It's great when it misses on both.
Oh my God,
levels,
isn't it good? So it sort of feels like, can't hurt me now. It did so badly. I still then was like, oh, I'm going to be fine. You know, that still didn't.
Yeah, that's the preferred state of mind.
I feel like in our business, you're either God or you're garbage.
Yes,
You know, and
yeah.
that psychic contrast is so bizarre to oscillate between. There's no balance there. I mean, even just on a day-to-day level, like on set, somebody's always like, what can I get you? There's always somebody handing you whatever you need at any moment. Everyone's doting on you, acting like, you know, don't talk about them around. And then at the same time, it's like, hey, I have to pee. And they're like, no, you can't. I'm like, well, that's a human. I have to, no. It's hour 18. No, you can't leave. I have walking pneumonia. No, you can't leave. You're garbage. The same thing with putting out a movie. You think you are worthy of this great success. And then at the same time, you're like, I'm nothing and no one wants. It's just so.
Yeah.
It's a very bipolar
It
kind of
is.
existence.
Very roller coastery.
Did you benefit from having at least parents that also had gone through all those rides? Did you grow up at least with a right-sized understanding of this business where like there's a ton of downs, there's a ton of ups, there's a ton of downs? I worry about things for my daughters. And another thing I think is helpful, which is there's no real mystique about it. It's not an exotic thing. It's in their fucking living room and I have gas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy, do
That's
you.
their real experience with it.
Yeah.
So I do wonder, do you think it was at all helpful to have two parents who had been through all the highs and lows and you were like, oh, and then they lived?
For sure. But I also think I carry their trauma with me. This movie, Not Okay, I'm playing a total anti-hero scammer, quote unquote, unlikable female. I have now played, so I did a movie called Flower, I did a movie called Buffalo, I did a show called The Politician, and now Not Okay, where I play what other people perceive to be pretty horrible women. And this is a result, I believe, of having watched my mother suffer a time when she only was offered parts of I'm the sweet girl next door. And I'm like,
Right.
fuck that fucking shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
deserved way better parts. I watched her as Sally Bowles on Cabaret and I saw what a motherfucker of an actor she is and what she could have done and what she still can do. And I was like, I am not going to be pigeonholed. And I bet you I would have a way bigger career, quote unquote, bigger career if I had gone the trajectory that I was on when I did Why Him, where I played, I'm sorry, a one-dimensional female character in a male-driven comedy with James Franco. But anyway, I think this desire to play these, what people again perceive to be horrible women.
Imperfect.
And I have had such a fun time with it. But I think it's because I watched my mom.
Of course. In the best case scenario, you learn from your parents' mistakes. And your
Or
own.
you can repeat them.
In a different, the opposite.
Ways. No.
Oh, you will repeat all of them and also try to avoid them.
I can't wait.
Gosh. But it is weird that there's been an outside expectation placed on you. Like you said, you've been on all these lists and it's, she's gonna be. What if you're like, but is that even what I'm trying to do? But the world is telling me I am.
I just go, no one cares, whatever. Just keep doing your
Yeah.
thing. No one ever cares about. I don't know if that is bleak, but it's helpful for me sometimes to just go, no one even saw that stupid list.
I love this lane though for you. And to Monica's point earlier that you remind her of Kristen. Kristen's unique gift, in my opinion, is you watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall. You're supposed to hate that person. She's the villain.
So true.
She's so likable.
It's impossible. You're so
cheat
sick
on him
of
again.
people.
We don't care. Fucking cheat on him every day in front of him. We'll still love you.
Yeah, she is truly the most likable person.
Part of the reason, and I think you do this as well, which is you're not playing the villain with some awareness that you're the villain. You got to play the villain. And when you're emotional, you have real emotions. And then I feel bad for any person that's going through a rough time, even if they're despicable. So
Totally.
that's the hack of that, in my opinion, is just still also play a human that you might feel bad for, even if you're the bad guy.
It's the most fun.
Yeah.
The politician character is great.
Well, you're
So
super
awesome.
good.
You're really good.
It's pretty wild. You deserve to be on all those lists. I agree with you. Who the fuck is reading those
Literally.
lists? I think only
Yeah.
like your
The people that
agent,
are on them.
some other management person.
No, it's so
and-
stupid.
Yeah. Okay. You started acting class at 5. So clearly your parents had no objection to you wanting to do it, right?
They had no choice. I believe if my mom were here, she would say that. I was very fierce from the get-go.
Yeah.
I was sort of like, this is it. And I was really intense, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I'm so grateful that I was surrounded by people that made me see that it was possible. Not only my parents, my grandmother was an artist, my grandfather.
Is this Long Island, Grandma?
No, this is my mother's.
Because I'm going to make you talk like her before you leave.
Of course, I can talk like her. She talks like this. Pamela Deutch.
From,
She's from Long Island.
Long
Island.
Long Island.
Yeah. I got in big trouble because I went on Fallon and I did this accent. And everyone from Long Island was like, I don't talk like that. It's like,
Oh my God.
all right, whatever you say.
sure.
I said it was a cartoon character version of her.
Oh, that's amazing.
Long Island.
But everyone in my family, they're all musicians, writers, painters. My mom would always take in anybody, any random artist, music, whatever. I was surrounded by a lot of artists and knew that that was a path that was possible and acceptable. And I was put in improv by my mother because I was such a twat and like would say no to her about everything. I was like a contrarian and I was obsessed with saying no because it forced adults to have conversations with me.
Yeah. It
'Cause
gives you some power.
if I said no, they would have to.
Engage.
Now they
Yeah.
got to outfox you.
And so she was so perplexed by this character defect of me. She was like, this is the life you want to live? You want to say no to everything around you? What a life that's going to be.
My daughter Delta's like this, but I figured out really early on, I'm not going to win the no thing with her.
She's like that?
Oh, yeah. And I go, okay. I recognize she's only going to do the things she wants to do. So I can only appeal to her sense of being a good person. It's literally that simple.
Do you think she's going to be an actress?
It'd be stupid if she wasn't, right? She's so
She's
fucking
incredibly
charismatic.
charismatic.
Do you think the oldest
It's
is going to be?
angering as someone who had to learn to be funny at the groundlings.
But she also seeks zero approval.
Yes.
And so I actually wonder if she won't. If she'll pick something else that's creative, but not like
She
in
might
front.
actually do it for the right reason because she loves being
There's no
funny.
such thing. There's no actor who's done it for the right reason ever.
Yeah,
Will
wait a minute. That
Ferrell?
doesn't add.
It's
Yeah,
not
Will
computing.
Ferrell's the only one. The only comedian.
Tom Hanks, maybe? I don't know.
Even we don't know yet. We
don't
haven't
know.
talked to him.
When Molly Shannon backed you up on that, I keep thinking that Will Ferrell, there's got to be some sort of, he's killed a man or something.
yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so she put me in improv and then I just was like, I can make people
best.
feel things and I
Yeah.
can, whatever, all the things that I'm sure you guys both experienced too.
But how about the leap to doing it professionally? Because you didn't start till 15 getting a paycheck.
Yeah, which I thought was ancient.
Right. Was that a debate in your house? Was that a compromise?
Yeah. I remember a wonderful child actor who I worked with. She was very famous. She became famous very young. She said, being a child actor, you're given the responsibility of an adult, but not the respect.
I would see this with Mae Whitman on Parenthood. She was like 21 when we started. She's playing 14 or 15. She was on talk shows when she was 6 years old. She's been working longer than any of us other than Craig T. Nelson there. Yet they were talking to her about her hair choice like she was out of the equation. And I remember thinking, that's bonkers. She's the most powerful member of this group. She has almost the most experience. And I'm allowed to wear my hair however I want. But because of her age...
Yeah.
Like, it really did strike me, that thing. Now go lift this show up like the powerful beast you are, but then we're going to tell you how to do your hair and what you got to wear.
Yeah.
That would drive me insane if I were her.
Yeah.
She didn't have as big of a chip on her shoulder as I would have.
Probably why she's still
Not
working.
to say it. Well, there's a chip, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But not as bad as
So
mine would
you
have been.
wouldn't be upset. You would encourage starting at a younger age.
No. And now here's the thing that's unfair to you and a lot of other people because you're brilliant. You really are. You're super talented. The actors I've always liked personally are ones that I at least thought had lived an actual life.
For sure.
And had some real jobs and had been in some real fights.
I've done crack. What are you talking? No, I'm kidding.
Okay, well, then that helps.
Hey, you don't know what I've... No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I
Have
haven't.
you?
No, not yet.
That's my own thing.
No,
It's
but
just
you're
like,
right.
I want them to walk in with a point of view before they're taking on everyone else's point of view.
If I were a parent, I would feel the exact same way.
Okay. But in your case,
They didn't have a choice.
on some level, they got to drive you places, right?
But they didn't have a choice. I know that sounds crazy, but like I went down a pretty bad path at 12, 13, 14.
Oh, tell me what kind of path?
I was dying to grow up and be an adult so badly.
Yeah.
At 12, 13,
Were you
14.
dating way too old of boys?
It wasn't dating way too old of boys, but I was going out and drinking very young and
okay.
doing all that very young. I was going down a very specific path. And actually, I'll just get right into it. I must have been 14 when I left. It's hilarious. It was like a prop bag of incriminating evidence for my parents to find. It was literally a bag that had cigarettes,
Okay, great.
weed,
Okay, wonderful.
a shot glass,
Oh,
a
perfect.
flask,
It's like
a condom, which I wasn't having sex with. I
mean, you were prepared.
I just had it.
in
Wait,
case-
did I say there was like lingerie? Did I say lingerie? There was
No.
a pill case with pills in it, which
Oh,
again,
okay.
it was like Xanax, and I think there was like other stuff in it. Again, I was not doing those. I want to be clear.
Okay.
I was drinking and smoking and doing all that
Okay.
stuff.
This is a starter pack for spring break.
My mom finds the bag, and at the time my sister was dating, he was sober and identified the pills.
They didn't have him talk to you, did they?
No, of course
Oh,
not.
okay.
No.
I thought that's where this is
No,
going.
no. My mom finds me. She goes, I'm going to pick you up. She comes and picks me up. My best friend is making out with a guy on a couch, and I'm like hitting a bong or
Oh,
something.
wow.
And she grounds me. And I've never been grounded, even though I'd done some very questionable things. Grounds me for like 6 months.
That's an eternity.
Something crazy like that. And that's when I switched schools and I started working. After that 6 months, I was just so bored and done with partying. It was funny. I was like, I've seen it all. I've done it all.
That makes a lot of sense then. Normally, you try to put a kid in sports or you try to get them engaged in something positive instead of
Correct.
being a burnout.
Channeling my energy
Yes.
and all of that stuff
Yeah.
into something.
Caring about something enough that those other things would be a distraction from the thing
Yeah.
and not worth it.
Was it about being older? Was it about having stories?
I just really wanted to be older and like get it. I always wanted to understand. My earliest memory I have, which is so, and I have a shitty memory. You guys both seem like you have great memories, but I have,
It's another Kristen thing.
and again, I don't even know if this is a real memory, but I think it's a real memory.
Might be a photograph you saw, but go ahead.
Is driving down Ventura Boulevard, and my dad is driving. My sister is in the passenger seat, and my sister points at a billboard and starts laughing because of what it says, because she reads it and they're laughing at it. And I am filled with this panic because I can't read yet and I don't know what they're laughing at. And I just start laughing hysterically too. I think it's so, I just start laughing and laughing because I just want to get it. Like I just wanted to
You want
get
to be in on it.
Yeah, I wanted to get why people were going to these bars and getting drunk and hooking up with these guys. And I really was dying to get it. And so I did.
Zoe, you are introducing me to something that I have that I've never really thought of in this way, which is I have this deep thing too. My biggest embarrassment would be that I missed the joke everyone's in on. I would want to go up in flames. And I've always related it to being dumb. Everyone understands something and I don't. As much as I always thought that was about dyslexia, I think a lot of it's about my brother having dudes over that are 5 years. They're 5 years older than me. So I'm like trying to keep up so much. I remember we would watch TV at my dad's house, and when we'd see him on the weekends, we were allowed to rent movies, and we'd rent like 9 movies, and it'd be 4 in the morning, and my brother was plowing through them. You know, he's 16 and I'm 11. And I remember being on the couch going like, stay awake. Like the battle I would have. I think it's why I'm an insomniac. Because like I learned to push through any kind of tiredness because I would be so little if I had fallen asleep.
That's so funny.
I was using those condoms at that age and I was fucking dying to get it all done.
I don't know what it was. People would just say, they were like, don't have sex until you're 16 and don't do cocaine. And I was like, growing up in LA, I think that's the best advice you can give a teenager.
Yeah,
I don't know why I listened to it, but I did. I wanted to grow up really fast and I did grow up really fast. And then by the time I was 15, I actually was motivated and ready to start my life. I didn't feel the desire to go to college and to have that experience. I didn't think at the time.
Yeah, now do you feel like you wish you had
did a
lived
movie.
in a dorm?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
We
more
were just
because I
talking
loved school. I loved learning. I loved that experience. And I was shooting a movie called Set It Up in New York. And I was living in the West Village and I was walking through the park and I thought, oh my God, my life is so fabulous. I was walking through and I was so humbled by me thinking my life was so fabulous when everyone in cap and gowns were walking by. And I just touched my face and there were just tears streaming down my face like, you're a failure. You didn't go to college, you loser.
The only thing you get out of it, though, is just life experience of feeling like it's the first time you're on your own. We were just talking about this 5 minutes ago.
Booty bumping.
Well, I was doing that in middle school.
Oh,
Excuse you.
Yeah, how dare you? But no, you get the first sense of like,
autonomy.
yeah,
Freedom.
but you have
You're writing
that.
your own story now. You're not like
Exactly.
in someone else's story. You're like
I don't
writing
know
your own.
why
It's
I'm
wonderful.
trying to minimize it. It is the best experience on earth. It really is.
I asked Monica, I'm like, what zone would you go back to if you could live any? Would it be college? To me, from the outside, it seems like that was your.
Fucking
and she's
loved
like, I
it.
think maybe.
Wow.
But now look,
College.
I
Really?
went
What would be yours?
7th grade.
No fucking way.
Absolutely.
No.
Pinnacle of my life.
Actually?
1,000%.
That's
I've said it on
nuts.
here a million times.
Sex in 7th.
Best year of my life. Me and my best friend Aaron Weekly, we are in business. I'm cute that year. I don't have this nose yet. I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm popular as hell. I have a moped. I can go anywhere the fuck I want. I'm sleeping at my buddy's house. We go out as late as we want. It's heaven. Never got better than 7th grade. That's the year.
Rocked. I would do anything to erase 7th grade.
It's rough.
That's common.
Yeah, it's the most common.
Why'd you want to erase it?
It was a horrible time. The boys and everyone was mean and it was horrible and I was very lost. I was very, very heavily bullied and I was the bully. I was very strong and fierce, but I was also truly tortured by these boys. I kissed some guy and his friend liked me and they decided it's a whole crazy story. I hope one of them somehow stumbles on this and listens to this. They decided I was a succubus.
A succubus.
Do you know what a succubus is?
No, is it like a siren?
A succubus is like your vagina has spikes in it. And so when you fuck a succubus, it cuts
Destroys your penis?
Something like that. I think we're going to have to look this one up.
This
but
is
that's-
a fact
great
checky.
fact check
Yeah.
moment,
fact check.
Succubus.
Great.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
then,
like that.
so then they would write songs about me, and then it devolved. It became a whole like mythical lore thing, and they would walk by me in school, cough by me like I was diseased.
Oh my God.
They would. My best friend Carver, who I'm often making out with on Instagram, people think we're in a relationship. We're not.
I wonder why they think that.
I know. It's strange. It's 2022, Dax.
Like, people make out.
Get over it. The classic thing of like we'd have to eat lunch together in the gym in the bathroom because if they saw her, they'd start coughing at her because she was around me. And it became a whole thing. Anyway, and then there was a thing called Honesty Box, which was an anonymous submission thing where
This
you
sounds like a terrible idea in
Yeah.
junior high. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
and LA, all the schools talk and everything. I was so canceled and so beyond bullied in this way that it's sort of helped me in this life. And the movie Not Okay is a lot about cancel culture.
Yeah.
And it's
What were you canceled over? Did you put something in the
Just-
submission box?
No,
Or just those boys that canceled you?
decided I was a
Pariah.
succubus.
Yeah, pariah.
Because they probably just wanted to fuck me.
Yeah, of course
and
they
then
did.
And I wouldn't fuck them. So they were
Right.
like, she's a succubus.
The one boy who liked you, but his buddy made out with you, and then they had beef. So then they decided the way we're going to squash this beef is to hate you. Like
Yeah.
you somehow made this happen.
But I also wasn't nice to them either. I was a bully too to them.
right.
Were you a bully or were you just sticking up for yourself?
Probably just sticking up for myself.
Yeah.
I accidentally came across my hard drive of those years and I saved every conversation. And I
Like AIM?
It was iChat.
Sorry, you're younger than me.
It was iChat.
You really just embarrassed yourself. Yeah.
And like
She's my style.
Was it on MS DOS?
I saw all of them and it was very fascinating.
These were journal entries, or no, these were communications with
Conversations
you.
and what we were saying to each other. But it was great preparation for this career path because what could anyone say to me that is more hurtful than succubus? God damn.
What?
I mean, it's true. I am a succubus. I do have spikes in my vagina.
Yeah.
You're
That's
going to
what I
lose
heard.
your dick if you fuck me, but it's worth it.
Worth
You'll
it.
say goodbye with a smile on your face.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay. Everybody wants him. Linklater, you got to work with him. Is he the most beautiful? I'm so jealous.
He is so special, one of a kind, best person.
One of my great regrets, this is a terrible status thing. It's a very dark, embarrassing thing to admit, but my movie Hit and Run screened at, I think, South by Southwest, and there was a man sitting next to me. I didn't know what Linklater looked like. I'm an enormous fan of him, but I don't know what he looks like. And then after the movie, he tells me how much he liked the movie. He's got specific things. And I filed it in like, oh, that's a nice person who just sat by the thing. And then when I got up and walked away, another friend said like, what was Linklater saying to you? And then I come to find out that was Linklater. And then I was mad at myself. Like, I should have been etching that into my mind, what he was saying. I wish I could have been receiving it, knowing it was coming from someone I idolize so much, I guess.
I don't know if that's a stat. I
It's
understand.
an ego thing.
It's also a respect thing. If
Yeah.
you respect him, I understand that. He is really humble and special artist. It was very interesting making that movie. It was a very different process than anything. When I went to the audition, he picked me up at the airport.
Oh, he did.
Oh my
Did you audition
gosh.
in Austin?
I was shooting a movie in Boston, flew to Austin for the afternoon, picked me up, and we went to breakfast together. And on the way, he played me the playlist for the movie.
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
That ended up being all the songs in the movie. And then he asked me about my high school experience. I went to a performing arts high school and I just started telling him about it when I got the part and he sent me the new script. That whole thing I said, the whole monologue was in the script. Like
He remembered it all.
Oh yeah. We all lived on his ranch while we were shooting it.
Oh my God.
I mean, I actually
Zoey.
lived on the street because I was the only girl in it, but the boys all lived on the ranch and I was there every day with them. And he would sort of change and mold the characters based off of how, because we all hung out for 3 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He is special.
Okay, and then we got to touch down on Wyatt. Can I tell you my Wyatt experience?
Yes, please.
I'm dating Kate Hudson. I go up to their house in Canada. There's this sweet boy who's just deciding to stop playing hockey, and he is playing guitar and writing songs, and his heart is so clearly as big as a wheelbarrow. And I find myself just inordinately attracted to Wyatt as a person. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be nice to my girlfriend's little brother. Where'd this little boy come from? He's so sweet and special. And then I saw him act, and I was like, oh my God, he's fucking a great actor. Like, he's an incredible
Well, he's
actor.
also your favorite type of actor. He's lived a lot of life.
Been an athlete. He's been a songwriter. He's been-
Musician.
Yes.
He didn't want to do this.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, we love those actors.
Did you adore him though?
Yes, he's really
impossible
wonderful. And his
not to.
wife, Meredith, is an amazing actress and person. Great genes.
Don't know her, but I'd like to get to know her.
Meredith's great. She was in Set It Up.
Okay, wonderful.
That was a huge movie for Netflix, by the way. I don't know if you have that written.
Everybody
down.
wants him?
No.
Set It Up.
It Up was huge. And I know
Huge.
that because Callie told me
Her best friend for many, many decades is
works at Netflix. And maybe she worked on Set It Up. Maybe that's why I heard so much about it.
That movie was so interesting. It was an accident, I think, for them that it was as big of a hit as it was
Yeah.
and that it spurred the desire for more rom-coms.
Yes.
But I only knew that it was a big deal when a week and a half after they were like, want to do Fallon? And I was like, a week and a half after the movie came out? And they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're going to do a quick little meeting to show you the numbers. And then all of a sudden I'm in Times Square, everywhere, Set It Up and this. And I was like, what is going on? It was so nice because I was so proud of the movie and I loved making the movie and I loved Claire and I loved Glenn and I
You
loved
want
Katie
Claire to
Silberman.
win.
And for a movie that you had a good experience on to do well, you know how it is. Usually the
Yeah.
ones that are pain and suffering and blood, sweat, and tears where you're like, please, oh God, that's the one that does well. So anyway, it was a pleasant surprise.
last boy I'm going to bring up because that's my current crush right now is Nicholas Hoult.
Oh.
PQs for Nicholas Hoult. My God.
Oh my God.
PQs galore. Do you know what PQs are?
No.
They're code on this show. We talk about them often. Pussy quivers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And certain things give you PQs. Yeah.
Certain things called
I think
Nicholas
he's
Hoult.
the human embodiment of a PQ.
He is such a great guy.
I know, he's so nice, right?
Love him. We had such a great time together. We've stayed friends, and I saw him recently when I was shooting in London, and he found the one deli in London and brought me matzo ball soup. And we had matzo ball soup in Hyde
This
Park.
guy.
I love him.
How can you be that gorgeous and nice? Like most
tall.
people. Yeah, oh, what a
He's
beast.
very tall.
What
He
a
has a
beast.
great
Talented.
physique. He has an incredible
Yes.
physique.
This incredible physique.
He does.
Has he been on your show?
Yeah.
Oh, did he come here and just...
It was all
Because
wet.
I was
Everyone
spraying,
got
Monica's
all
PQing. We were all fucked up for days. It was this impossible thing, very similar to the Linklater thing. I had come to watch The Great, and I love it so much. You watch The Great?
I do not yet.
Oh my God, you must
I
watch
got
it. I'm a super fan of it. Comes on the show. He goes, we've hung out. And I'm like, no, we haven't hung out. I'm a huge fan. He's gone to motorcycle track days where I'm there,
He's big on
and I'm pretty fast.
Oh, there you go. There we go.
I'm kind of pretty rad at the track.
Oh my God.
And we had chatted, I guess, at one point for a half hour about riding, and I found that impossible to believe.
Do you still ride motorcycle? Do you still?
Yeah, it's still my life.
How does I can't.
She doesn't give a fuck. It would scare you?
Yes.
Of course.
You're scared.
I'm way too codependent
rational?
Al-Anon to do that. I would
okay.
freak out. I don't even know you, and I'm going to now try to convince you that you should stop. Because I think I can do that. I think I can stop you. I literally am like about to do a whole thing.
Do a
like
whole
as
thing?
if no, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I mean, I might.
But is there part of
accidentally.
you, the Al-Anon part, does it become this weird challenge to whether or not I love you? Like, as if I
For
loved you.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
If you cared about me, then you would stop.
Yes. I would keep myself alive for you.
Yeah, even as a
No,
full
I know.
stranger, I
I
think
know.
you should stop for me.
I know, Monica.
That's our whole relationship.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah,
by
yeah.
the way, your Day 7 episode was so unbelievable. I had so much love and empathy for you,
Aw,
too.
thank you.
But when you were saying, you were counting the pills and doing all that, and one of the things that's so special about this podcast and you guys is that there is not a lot of awareness or discussion about addiction, about sobriety, about the program, about what it's like to love someone. And you guys are doing a real service. It inspires me and it makes me so happy.
Have you loved an addict?
Well, I asked if it was okay to mention this. I have a parent that's 15 years sober.
Oh, wonderful.
My grandmother was 50 years.
Wow.
Step-grandfather was 50. And then my great-grandfather died of cirrhosis of the liver at 59, I believe. So 3 generations of
Yeah.
addicts. And then I, of course, dated an addict.
We're kind of fun, right? For a minute.
Way too fun.
And I have, of course, a lot of people in my life and in my orbit. But I've witnessed such miracles around me and a lot of success stories. I just feel very grateful that that was my experience. It's such a taboo or stigmatized conversation. I've never shied away from it. And the fact that you guys don't and have such a huge platform is really cool.
Well,
really
thank you.
nice.
It's always weird for me to get a compliment about that episode, obviously, because I've relapsed. So it's just a very abstract thing for me to receive, but I really appreciate that. I think we always hear about the addict, right? You don't really hear the other person's story in addiction as much. Do you think that's what was novel about that? To be able to hear what Monica goes through?
Yes, loving an addict is a whole other type of addiction too, by the way.
Oh,
right?
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a huge addiction with him.
1,000%.
Like huge. And I didn't know that. All I was doing was monitoring him and being so hyper aware and living in that state of I can fix you, I can be the one, I'll call it out, I'll do this. Only now with a lot of work and continued work do I know that's my issue. If you're not in it, you don't love an addict or you don't have someone in your life.
Everybody loves an addict. I don't.
But they might not know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly. It just takes so much introspection that most people don't have to do. So I'm grateful too, because it really forces you to look at yourself in a way that I didn't have to before.
That side of it's not explored a lot in TV, in interviews, and whatever. And I think it's not an obvious addiction because you think of an addiction as this one thing. But in reality, if you look at an addiction just being anything external that you regulate your inside with and you do it compulsively and it's in charge of your life, then that's kind
And
of
it's
an addiction.
having
And that can,
consequences.
yeah, and that can be another person in your life.
Is this a pattern or was this sort of the first
I'm sure it was a pattern, but not with
More mental illness, maybe.
right. I definitely have, I think, a pattern in life of wanting to control the feelings around me or being attracted to people with some mental illness and then being the one that's like
The stable
on
one?
high alert. Just on high alert. Like, oh my God, are they slipping here? Are
Like
they
in
this?
college, if people were getting really fucked up, were you like, I'm not going to drink tonight so that I can make sure they're okay, or no?
Nothing would get in the way of her drinking.
Like that's me. If I went out with you, I could tell you the next day how many drinks you had. And you could tell me, no, I had to. Nope. And I'm right. Every
Yeah.
time I know exactly how many drinks. I'm so obsessive about
everyone else's behavior around you.
oh my God. And
Yeah.
I am annoying too. I'm
Yeah.
the arbiter of what's okay and what's
Oh,
not
yeah.
okay. And
You're levying verdicts.
I'm the
No.
worst.
Addict, borderline, not addict.
Me too.
I'm the worst.
What's your relationship with drinking and drugs and whatnot?
You know, my grandma was so intense about it. She was the one who had 50 years. I should back up and say, as you know, at that time, no one, and she was,
And a woman on top of
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was not a thing.
No, the fucking book is to the wives, not to the husbands.
And she was a badass. She was really intense about it. I was 6 and she was like, you can't drink. I was always terrified of being out of control and about substances. And I was always obsessed with everybody around me and their drinking. And I think
I had that too, by the way, with an alcoholic parent who was in recovery.
I was gonna
like,
ask
yeah. I didn't drink. That was my thing. It's like, I'm not ever going to drink because my dad's a drunk. My uncle is a crack addict. Uncles who killed each other. So I wasn't going to do it. And then I was like, wait, I'm going to try it.
Wait, I am gonna do it. I'm gonna try it.
I will not be told that I can't do this, ultimately, is what happened.
Dax, I will not let you tell me I can't do it.
yeah.
But yeah, hyper aware of everyone.
And by the way, my mom found the bag of just incriminating everything.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the fear that she
Of
felt
course.
when she
Oh.
saw that of, oh, fuck, we got a 4th generationer on our hands. I can't imagine the feeling. I was so scared for so long. And I am still so obsessed with other people's drinking and obsessed with all of it, but I don't identify, but I'm terrified.
Well, that's what's weird is like if you're 4th generation, as I am, and a lot of people are, even if you avoid it, it'll never be not something in your life. Just the fact that you have to always be checking in with yourself. You just inherit that. You might not have that combination at all, but it'll still be very active in your brain. And I'm sure my kids, however normal I try to make it for them, they know I'm a fucking addict. So yeah, it's got to be in there. Will you ever let yourself get wrecked? Will you get hammered sometimes and have some fun?
I mean, I have fun. I love like a nice dinner party and stuff, but no, I'm
You
not.
keep it
I
real
don't.
tight.
My problem is, and I don't even like saying it, is that I'm not obsessed with alcohol. I'm obsessed with other people's consumption of alcohol. And
Right.
I have not dealt with it enough. I'm aware that it's something I really need to pay attention to and focus on myself, keep the focus on myself, which
It's hard
I'm
to
not
do.
So
great
hard
at.
to do.
Yeah, like I'm really, really fucking bad at it, which is funny considering I'm constantly thinking about myself. So like you
Sure.
would think I would be able to keep the focus on myself, but yet
But that's why
Who
it's scary
isn't?
to focus on yourself. There's a lot once you start doing that.
yeah.
You also have the perfect job to not focus on yourself. And this is what I loved about when I was going from movie to movie, as you're now doing. You're going from movie to movie to movie. Okay, for the next 2 months, I'm going to focus on this imaginary character and I'm going to be that person. And I really won't have to think too much about myself. I'll be home for what's your turnaround, your sleep, maybe 3 hours a day. You might have to, but now you're learning your shit for the next day. It's a great reprieve from you thinking about you. And then you hop right into the next one. It requires all your attention again. And then your focus is on this. And then now you got to sell it. So it's a good job to not have to ever do any of the hardcore
No, I mean, don't worry.
focusing.
I'm still in therapy 24/7.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
still
good.
with my real and my woo-woo therapist. Don't worry. I got all
Oh,
the...
you got the whole team.
Yeah, no crystals yet. It's coming.
don't
30's
ruin
approaching. I'm sure in 3 years, I turn 30 and I'll just acquire a crystal cave.
You're doing pretty good for 27, I would
No,
say.
I don't know about that. But
She's 28. Are you 28?
27.
Oh, you're 27.
She said 3 years. I did fast math.
Okay. You really shouldn't, by the way. I'm at the vantage point where you got no business in your 20s. This shouldn't even be on the priority list.
Oh, working on yourself?
Yes, it's a big enough job. You kick
this
it down
is
the road
thing,
to
but
30.
I'm going to bring it back to my sister, who's so annoying. She's so into it and knows herself. Maybe part of the reason why I love listening to your point of view on the world and how you interview people is you can always go deeper. I hear you sometimes go like, there it is. And it reminds me of her. And I get frustrated by it with her sometimes, which is like, why can't I just say something and it just be something? And she's a writer and she's very smart, but I'm like, why does
She's a
this?
musician too?
Yeah, she's everything. But I'm like, why does everything have to be? And I think some of my friends would say this about me, but she takes it to another level. If I'm being totally candid with you, I think you do too in a great way.
Right.
With her, I'm like, why can't I just say something and you not take it to this earth-shattering, gut-wrenching, deep fucking place?
It's exhausting.
No, but I love it. Oh, but why did I say that? Oh, because she's always working on herself and always finding the root. And sometimes I just go.
Wanna exist.
Sometimes I just go, well, that happened. Let's move on.
That's okay too.
Well,
That's okay.
Believe me, I have this debate with myself all the time. Can't you just stop thinking about being alive? Is it time to just let it all go and just eat your breakfast, then work out, then do this, then do that? Do I have to always find out where it's coming from? Do I have to always find out what my motive is? It's exhausting. And I have a fantasy that I could not do that. But in reality, when I don't do that, I end up fucked up. So maybe your sister is like me and it's not an option. As much as it would be great to just go like, just exist. Let it fucking roll off your back. I've tried that approach. I know exactly where I'll end up. And I'm sure I'm so annoying to certain people who are just cruising through life and they're like, let it go, buddy. If I'm being dead honest with myself, it's not a luxury I have. I can't carry resentments against people. Not an option for me. I'll drink over it. I can't have expectations. Doesn't work for me.
Well, by the way, I'm coming from 5 hours of junket interviews where you're just saying nothing. There's nothing more exhausting in the world than talking about nothing. Even if you go to a dinner party. How are you? Good. How are you? Like, I would rather talk about my deepest, darkest secrets, and I would rather talk about
Yes.
the worst thing than do small talk. I find it to be atrocious. I know
It's
it's hyperbole.
excruciating,
It's
yeah.
excruciating. That being said, you don't want to be around people who don't want to go deep. But it's a funny quality my sister has where she's always going deep.
Let's just talk about Top Gun. Great movie, right? Just fucking great,
Thank
right?
God
We don't
for
need to
Top
worry about
Gun.
the...
Our version of that is when we look at fashion.
That's why I love it. It's such an escape. It's a beautiful escape.
She's brutal though.
Uh-oh.
That's
With
probably
you?
why. No, with everyone else, she's brutal, cutthroat. And that's why I pay so much attention to clothing because I'm like, she's going to be like, what is she wearing? She's also a writer. So the insults she comes up with are like, you'd be like,
Very
what?
colorful.
Yeah. You're going to remember it because it was novel and unique.
gosh.
And,
Well, so far you're doing great. I have not seen a mistake made.
It's
Not
out
a
of fear.
foot misplaced,
It's
did
out
they
of
say?
fear, total fear.
Well, then I was also sad because you're much shorter than I thought you were going
That
to be.
is sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be apologizing to me. When I
as
see
you know.
pictures, I'm always like, oh, part of the reason that looks so impeccable
Your story.
is because she's tall.
Yeah, you're like, I couldn't look that good because I'm not tall.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be able to pull that off because I'm short and she's tall. That's why it works. And like,
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore. Damn it. You would be lying to yourself and everyone that was listening.
It's really upsetting.
Okay, now we got to talk about, we want to talk about not okay. You were hinting at it a little bit. You were doing a good job. You're a good soldier.
Thank you.
You're a good boy. Good boy.
Well, I produce this one, so I'm not on the road.
Right.
Care.
It doesn't it change everything when it's yours?
Yeah. Being an actor, you don't have as much power as people think you do, unless you're a certain type of actor. And power, I don't mean in like a negative way. I mean, you don't have any say.
You're not holding the steering wheel a lot.
No, never,
Right,
really.
right.
You think you are. They make you think you are, but you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
But when you have more power and when you're a producer and you can be involved in these things, it changes the whole experience.
It does.
And yeah, so Not Okay.
How did it come to you?
Quinn Shepard, who wrote it and directed it.
And she is also an actor.
Yes.
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 I always like when actors turn to the pen and the directing.
I do too. I mean, there are people who.
Oh my God, this is exciting.
Wow, let's answer it.
Oh my
Who is it? Is it your
gosh.
sister?
Who is it?
Oh my God, was that Nicholas Holt?
Oh my God.
I was literally, you beat me to it. Should we FaceTime him?
Oh my,
Oh my
God, I would love it. I wonder, he probably wouldn't answer my FaceTime, but I bet he'd answer yours.
He's busy.
I know. He's got
He's
so many
so
PQs
hot.
to administrate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do another movie with him, you guys.
Oh, who isn't?
By the way, all of our feet are like going.
We're
As soon as he
titillated.
came up,
We're all a titter. Oh
God.
my God. He's racing cars now, too. So sexy for Ferrari.
Is he really?
yeah, it is so sexy.
Even though you hate it.
You
I
don't
do,
like
but it's-
F1 or any of that?
Oh no, I love it, but I
you
would
like F1?
find it scary.
Duh.
We
Wait
talk
a
about
minute.
it all the. Who's your guy?
Charles
Okay.
Leclerc.
No. Okay, can I just say really random? And he's not my favorite, but I just want to talk about him for 1 second. Bottas. Bottas never gets the credit that he deserves. He was such a team player. He was such a kind person. He was like the true definition of sportsmanship. Not that I know anything about sports. But as I say it, I'm like, the word sports coming out of my mouth doesn't even feel right.
I caught it. I caught it.
Sportsmanship. Like all of a sudden, I'm like a different person. There's like a different voice coming out of me.
Well, it almost sounds like you're pitching canoeing in the 30s. Like a sportsman takes to the lakes of Great North Michigan.
Okay, I love Hamilton.
So
I really do.
Bottas, really quick, just on him. Let's wrap that up.
I met him in Monaco. We went to the Grand Prix. And
Who's we?
my boyfriend and I, and Sean and Nina, Sean White, who was here last week.
Oh my God, you're in with that?
Yeah, so Sean, Nina, my boyfriend and I, we all went to who's your
boyfriend?
Yeah, who's your boyfriend?
Jimmy
What if
Teachow.
you're like Nicholas Holt, you guys?
Oh my God, I would spray
But we all
over
went
his
to the
room.
Grand Prix, and then we went after to the Maldives together. It was a crazy
Oh
trip together.
my God,
We did a crazy couples trip.
I gotta get a boyfriend so I can join your trip.
And it's nuts. Between Nina and I, we plan, it should be illegal. But anyway, Bottas was just such a sweetheart.
Did you know who any of you were? Because I just introduced myself to him in Austria a few weeks ago. No fucking clue. And he had already been scheduled.
Everybody knew
Well,
Sean.
of course, Sean.
Yeah.
So going to the Grand Prix with Sean was a whole once in a lifetime experience
Yeah,
because
he
the
transcends.
respect, that the athletes had for him.
He's a Michael Jordan.
And he's such a special, wonderful guy. I'm stuck in the word special and wonderful. I think
It's
I've said
okay.
it
It's
5,000 times. Do you know what that happens when you get stuck in
Yeah,
a
it
word?
gets in your head.
and then I don't know.
I'll
what's
edit them out.
No, keep it. And we can do a ding every time
What
I
if
say
it
it.
just-
And at the end, you can tally and go, and Zoey Deutch said special 49 times.
And this would
in
you
1
would
hour.
hate this when we make it a drinking game.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what they do on The Bachelor.
But if you
for
Water
amazing.
shots,
If you-
kids, water shots.
If you cut it, it'd be so funny because it would just go, he's such a guy. And he's such a person. He's such a...
No, what I honestly would do, but maybe I won't because we're talking about it, I would keep special once and then I'd keep wonderful another time. Like
and
I'd
you
spread
bounce
it.
back and forth.
Spread it out.
Okay, great.
Spread the wealth of my
Yeah.
Your
fun
two
and
options
lack
you
of
gave us.
intelligence. Hamilton, we loved meeting him. He was very, very kind. Special, wonderful. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. He was especially wonderful.
Especially wonderful. Who's your favorite?
We're very good friends with Ricardo.
Yeah.
Love.
So Daniel Ricciardo, I want him to win every race. Given the fact that if he can't win, Max is my guy. He is the most talented motherfucker by such a landslide.
I share
you and
your
Monica feel the
opinion.
same
I
way.
share your
You and
opinion.
we've argued about it all the time. He is a driving AI. He cares about a single thing in life. Doesn't care if you like him.
I respect that. I really do.
When I came into the sport, he was an underdog, which I love underdogs. It would have been
Totally.
hard for me to come in with
That's
Lewis
why I
on
love
yours.
Bottas.
Yeah, I think it's so exciting the year that Bottas is having at Alpha. It's so wonderful. I'm so happy for him. He deserves all that. And we're
Yeah.
seeing that he was a really incredible driver.
Do you love Toto or no?
Obsessed.
Herb
He is my, if you were to ask me who the biggest
Seuss.
sash
Like,
squash.
okay, I have a
What's your pussy
question.
called? Pussy squash.
I have a question for you.
Aber squash? What was it?
What was it called?
Sub-Saharan?
I'm just gonna let you keep going. Subset.
Substack? Subsets?
Sassy Queen.
Sasquatch?
I forget what it was.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not forgetting. Succubus.
Succubus.
Sounds like-
If you asked me who's the number one badass in Formula One, my answer would have been Toto Wolff.
I'm obsessed with him, and he was so nice.
He's a fucking PQ giver,
I
right?
love Toto. Toto.
Interesting.
Yes.
He's too clinical for
How about
me.
the
Really?
end?
I
How about
love
the
it.
last scene in Drive to Survive season 3 or 4, whatever the last one was? They said, "Does Red Bull have a bullseye on their back next year?" He said, "Everybody has a bullseye," and it's like, "I'll kill everyone."
But he was not as cold and, like you said, clinical as I.
He's an elegant man.
He was hot as
He
hell.
would fuck you up.
Beyond.
Yes, it's obvious. He brings the thunder
He
in the
fucks.
sheets. That guy fucks.
Fucks.
Do you
Yes.
think some of the drivers stink?
This is Monica's thing.
Do they smell? For sure. And some of them pee themselves. That's the whole thing. They say that.
Don't worry about it.
No. They have to pee themselves sometimes because they can't leave. So they do. For sure. They smell.
Well, definitely in NASCAR they do.
Now let's talk about what driver we think fucks the best, because I have an opinion on that.
Let's go.
You count down 3, 2, 1, we say it.
No, wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I
wait.
got a hunch we
Oh,
might tie.
God. But I don't know. Okay. But
Do you have a? I mean, just
It's
does something
Toto.
hit you?
Toto.
But we didn't. This is drivers. Let's
Toto's
switch it.
fucking me so hard.
Oh my God, you're so messed up. You got to take 3 days off after Toto comes to town.
no, I'm
you
never
gotta clear your
working
schedule.
again. So who makes
let's
your
drive.
dick hard?
I think the guy who you'd be fucking, and all of a sudden you'd be like, "Oh my God, why is my leg over my head? Oh my God, what's this? Oh my God, what's that kinky thing he did?" is Carlos Sainz.
I need to like see his face really
Yeah, look
quickly
at his face.
I want to
Look
see
at
him
his
look
nose
at
and
me.
his lips.
Carlos.
He's very handsome.
He's very sexy.
They're all sexy, but I think the only driver that I want to have sex with is Danny.
Ricardo.
Yeah.
No, Carlos.
Do you think maybe he
You don't think that guy's
stinks?
eating your ass on the first date?
Oh, maybe that's why he stinks. His mouth is full of shit.
That dude is eating your ass date number 1. That's all I'm saying.
This is not my words for the record. I didn't say
We've
any.
already done this.
Yeah, this has already been taken care of. You didn't comment. That's fine. You're safe.
I feel like you'd like Danny because he's so like fun.
Totally. He's the best personality
He
by
is.
far.
Yep.
I love his nose too.
Yeah,
Totally.
His eyes are gorgeous.
Great nose.
Same
Great
eyes
nose.
as Monica. That's kind of a narcissistic compliment because they have the exact same eyeballs.
No, his eyes are better than mine.
No,
Yep.
no.
They are.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you talk
Has
about my
anybody,
friend like this.
has anybody, as a first time guest, by the way,
Mila.
you're friends with her, right? You've been known her forever.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I like this so much, by the way.
Oh, you
that
do?
I love that you don't have a door here. I immediately feel more comfortable.
Oh,
It feels very like we're vibing, no
Bohemian.
issues,
Right?
Pee if you will, pee
Carlos
if you
is
want.
on his way in. You're going to be like, what day is it when he leaves?
Dax is considering putting a door up, and I'm very against it.
I don't think you should. Why?
It's
A
like
lot of people don't feel
norms.
like us.
They want a
They don't
door?
want an exhibition style
Well, that's-
kitchen. For like
It's
a-
kind of on them, but
That is on them. They shouldn't be here.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
We're not servicing not okay. I got to tell you something right now. I tried with everything I had to watch your movie. I can show you the emails.
Do they make it difficult for you?
Oh my God, they wanted me to download an app that's a authenticator. I hit them with an email. I said, you want me to pay $7.99 a month to have this app so that I can watch this movie, so that I can talk to your star about the movie? This is bonkers. I aired my my grievance with them, and they said, we're going to get someone from IT to contact you. And then they didn't do that either. So here we are.
Well, they're gonna
I
get it
wanted you to know
talking
that
from-
I would
No,
have
no, no.
definitely watched your movie. I would not disrespect you and have not watched it before you got here. I really tried my hardest.
Don't worry
I've
about
only
it.
seen the trailer. I did watch it 4 times to try to get as much out of it as I possibly could. But do you got to pee?
No.
You promise.
I'm just
You
sort
just
of-
got curious and now you're covering your vagina, but everything's fine.
talk about her vagina.
You can talk about my
She's not covering her knees. Now she's pulling her
my-
vagina out. She's in
That's
her
not my
pants
vagina,
now.
that's my fucking belly button. My
Beautiful.
belly button ring is infected.
Oh, great.
And so but the jeans were pressing against it, so now I'm putting something soft.
Little buffer.
Do you want to say? Do
No,
you
I
want
want
to tell
you
her?
to.
Okay. I'm going to offer Dax's services to you for your belly button infection because I had a piercing infection in my ear.
2.
I had 2, and
And
it was gnarly.
bad.
I had really
Well,
let it
I've been
go.
putting hydrogen peroxide on
That's what
it.
I did. Nope.
What do you have to do?
You have to cut it out. And
I
he'll do
cut
it
hers
for you.
out.
Cut
and
out
I-
what?
The rings.
No, I'm not taking out.
This
what,
is, yep.
what are you
this-
talking about? Take
I've
out
been
the
down
ring.
this road before.
Wait,
I was like, great, you're going to lose your fucking ear.
wait, take out the ring, like take the whole ring out, and then do what? Put a new one in?
You have to let it heal.
Well, first of all, I'm going to cut it out. Then I'm going to irrigate it. And then we're going to put some Neosporin on it. And we're going to let it sit until it gets not red.
I
and then
can't.
we're
I
going
have to
put
go to a
new.
screening. I would, but I have to go to a screening right now.
My question to you is, would
Can I come back after?
would you want to see the video of me cutting it out of her ear and the pus then exploding out?
No, see,
That's a
no,
pass.
she doesn't, and no
My
one
sisters
does.
watched the video. No, my sisters
Mine's
watched the
not
video
that bad.
hundreds of times.
Does yours have
a big bump in it?
yeah, bump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a look? I don't
Can
feel
I?
like it's
Yeah,
my
come in.
spot, my place to look that close
no,
at
I mean,
your
there's
body.
crusty stuff because I have
Yeah.
to take the crusty stuff out. I'm not sure it's right.
Oh, might need to come out. I still have all the tools.
It's not as
Yours looked angry.
It's not as
Your-
bad as mine.
Yours looked fucking pissed. Like hornets had swarmed it and stung your
But
ear.
it is really red, and I think
I need to probably
Well,
get
now
it
I'm
out of
gonna
there.
pee. Now I'm peeing.
Okay, now go pee pee. Make a pee pee.
I can't wait 1 second longer after that.
Yeah, I think that's got to come out.
We gotta get it.
Why does it have? Can I ask you a question? Why does it have to come all the way out?
It's probably the metal that's causing it. Yeah.
And you probably have some bacteria on that metal that we need to get out of there. Did you use a Hello Bella wipe? It is embarrassing. We don't have a fucking
I know.
towel.
We're not doing a great job.
This place isn't doing so good. Anyways, not okay.
Not Okay is about a girl who fakes a trip to Paris for attention from her coworker, who she has a crush on. When she's allegedly in Paris, she posts on Instagram that she's at the Arc de Triomphe. She goes to bed and she wakes up, and at the exact time she posted at the Arc de Triomphe, there was a terrorist attack.
So now she has to.
She decides to go along with the lie, and it's this sort of unfolding of that. It's a dark comedy, satire.
So you become the most hated person in the world, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But
People know
after
your
she
name.
becomes a survivor, in it is, an exploration of cancel culture, of internet fame, of loneliness. There's just a whole lot of stuff in there to unpack, and it's a really neat movie.
The one thing that I think the internet is uniquely cruel about is we just love when people fuck up. Like, we just live for it.
Well, we sit behind our computers and we play God and we decide who gets to live or die. It's so interesting. Like, if I ask anybody if they believe in redemption, of course. But 9 out of 10 times they're saying that because they want to believe that if they fuck up, they make a mistake, that they'll be forgiven. And 9 out of 10 times they watch other people fuck up and they don't forgive them. It's not a unique or new thing, human beings canceling or publicly shaming. That's
Scarlet Letter, the witches.
beginning of time we've been publicly shaming
What did you just
each other.
Crucible.
There are people that come to represent for us global sin, and we like culturally when one offering goes down for the things that we've also done, or our indiscretions, or things that we like to confirm we all agree societally is wrong. There's a very weird social primate aspect to it. We're gonna torch this person, and it's kind of like a collective catharsis of our fear of if we did this thing, but yet we participate in it. It's very complex.
But isn't it also unity? Like, gossip is what it is because it brings people together. I mean, gossip can also not be bad. It can be just talking about something that you heard about. It doesn't have to be negative. We have a negative connotation to it now, but like, gossip unites. It brings people together because you agree on something, right? And that feels good to be a part of something with another person. And same thing with canceling. If you're together on a united front, it's like a very primal thing.
Well, and often I think people want to do the thing and then they stop themselves, and it's hard to do that. And then when someone else does the thing they just desperately wanted to do, and then they get punished, they feel like this confirmation, like, that's right. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
There's some weird joy in knowing that the person that did the thing you want to do got destroyed by it, and you're grateful you didn't do the thing.
I have a friend who never gets caught, and I get caught. Anytime I've even told the tiniest white lie, I was immediately caught.
Okay.
Or I out myself because I can't. And it's
Yeah.
because I want to, but I have a friend who never gets caught.
Isn't it weird that people either are or not?
What is that? Does anyone
I
have-
don't get caught. My brother got
don't?
caught for everything.
You don't
I
get
got
caught?
away with murder.
Really?
Yes. I've gotten away with every. The fact that I never got a DUI is insane. The fact that I never went to jail is insane. So many things.
Wow.
The fact that I didn't OD from any of the
By the
combinations
grace
that
of
everyone
God,
else.
you just
Yes.
never got caught.
I never got caught. It's a blessing and it's a curse because your consequences aren't coming as quickly as they
never
should.
driven even with a sip of alcohol in my system, not even like a sip of beer in past, never anything, never once in my life. I bet you if I had one
Wow.
beer, I'd
Yes.
go to jail. And
My-
I don't
yeah.
know what that's about.
But do you want to?
I must want to
You
get caught
must.
because I never have not.
Have you ever cheated on a boyfriend?
No. I haven't.
Well, hold on a second. That was a pretty long pause. You had to think about it, and I think you would know right away.
Emotional cheating.
Okay,
for
okay,
sure.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
did you get busted for that?
I told them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You busted yourself.
Yeah, that's what I do though. I'm fascinated by people that never get caught.
Yeah. What would you pick? There's a downside to it.
I kind of like getting caught. I do, for the most part, honestly, lead an honest life. Like
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like me, probably, but I'm very honest. And when I do something bad, I tell you right away.
Uh-huh.
That's a reliable, trustworthy person.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a friend I want.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This character, she gets caught. It's an intense downward spiral of what comes next.
Why did Quinn want to tell this story?
She was so fatigued and struck by the endless scrolling of school shootings and then hair gummy ads and then influencers and then terrorist attack. And you're just like the like
Barrage.
of information and what it does to you. I think you actually would really enjoy it. And it's brave and polarizing. She's very lonely. She's nobody because she's not pleasant to be around, by the way, to be clear.
Right.
She's privileged, she's entitled, and she makes this choice out of complete loneliness and fear. Her growth is only in that she finds somebody who really is a friend to her for the first time, and how transformative real true friendship can be, which I know for myself, it is the most transformative thing, a friend and somebody having your back and seeing you.
Sharing
and
your experience
sharing
with you.
your experience with you. It's what life is about. And she realizes that is what she was looking for. She was craving connection. She wasn't craving fame or this boy's love or whatever the fuck it is. She was craving a friend.
Yes.
Which is really just
some
based-
intimacy.
So
some,
human, yeah.
Yeah. The thing about this character that was so brutal for me to play and why I wanted to play her was how embarrassing she is. I don't know if you guys have this, if there's a certain emotion that you hate more than anything to access when you're acting. Mine is embarrassment, because it goes back to the thing before we were talking about, which is like, I want to get it. I want to understand. And when you're embarrassed, usually you're embarrassed because you didn't get something. It was the most uncomfortable thing in the world to sit for 26 days in pure shame and embarrassment. Before she makes this mistake, she's saying really cringy, horrible things. And by the way, I'm really trying not to be cognizant these are cringy, embarrassing things when I'm saying them. I'm just aware because the crew is cringing. I'm trying to truly play this very straight, very serious, play it like a tragedy, but I can feel the crew around me like, oh God, why are you doing it? You know, and the grip is like, oh my Jesus Christ.
Like Nathan for you.
Yeah, and I love that show. And it was so challenging to sit in embarrassment for 26 days. I felt so uncomfortable. I hate playing embarrassed. I'll do anything not to be embarrassed.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling.
Is that the
Was
feeling
there-
for you too?
Oh yeah, I cry. I cry immediately. If I
She's
even have the
embarrassed, yeah.
tinge of embarrassment, I am crying.
Got it.
It's a lot.
The opening of the movie is a scene where she's talking to her boss about how she wrote an article that she feels left out because she was on a cruise with her family and was not in New York City when 9/11 happened. So she doesn't know
right.
she doesn't know anyone that died there, and everybody else in school had this experience.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it sounds like a Vice article. It really does.
Yeah.
It sounds like some sort of op-ed, controversial Vice article, but it's nuts. Mourning the loss of trauma, which of course she has trauma. Her trauma is just not one that she wants it to be.
It's a little fun though, right?
Yes, it was very fun. It was very fun, but it was uncomfortable.
Related question. Did you, when you were a kid, and do you even still sometimes, like to do weird things in front of the mirror until you embarrass yourself?
For sure.
Because I live for that.
I
Monica
also-
doesn't do it.
I don't get embarrassed by myself.
You could. You got to try harder.
Maybe.
You're doing faces and
Wait,
you make a
really?
gross voice and then you're acting. You're doing something super
I mean,
inappropriate.
I do
maybe.
weird shit when I'm by myself. Lots of weird stuff.
Never enough though to embarrass yourself.
You guys, that's weird. So weird. Promise.
Oh, I didn't mean to pose it like you're a prude because you don't do this. You don't push it till you're embarrassed.
No, I don't. I don't do it as like a hobby. Let me look in the mirror until I get embarrassed now. No, I don't do that.
I'm one of those pretentious, annoying people who do a lot of work before. I take it to a level where it's like, okay, we're cool. We cannot, even if it's like straight up studio comedy, I'm picking an animal and I'm doing movement. What am I trying to prove? I'm not really sure. It's obviously to myself. But the point of it is that the most valuable lessons I've learned from these crash courses I enroll myself in before I play a part is I embarrass myself so much before that by the time I get to set, it's really hard. If I fall on my face on set, or if I say something stupid, or if I scream at and I look like a nut job, it's not going to be more embarrassing than when I did a movie with Nick Holt. My animal that I chose for the part was a dolphin. And so when I was prepping and I was with my movement teacher, he was like, do the scene 100% dolphin. It was like a dance scene with Nick, and I do the scene 100% dolphin.
Are you squeaking and stuff?
Yeah, I look insane. I'm alone in a theater. And then it's 50%, and then it's 25, and then it's 3, and then you're just at 1% dolphin. And then whatever it is, you learn some sort of characteristic or mannerism. And it's always very useful. But what's the most useful of anything is you're free. I looked like an idiot. There's nothing I can do today on set that was weirder than 100% dolphin at the Odyssey Theater.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and you survived it. You're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
You lived.
Yeah. And there's something really lovely about that, for me at least, because embarrassment is so hard for me, because
Yeah.
I just want to avoid it.
Yeah.
I guess everyone is embarrassed. It's just what really penetrates. Yeah. Because like I fell down one time in front of Monica.
And a movie theater full of people. It was not just a fall. It was a cartoon. The popcorn.
Flew
flew.
Yeah, but
12
you
feet
like
in the-
falling.
Well, here's what happened. This was, I don't even know what happened.
Me either.
I guess
Banana peel.
I tripped going up steps and I literally threw everything in the air. There's like a 60-ounce Coke in the air. There's a fucking exercise popcorn up in the air. It's like raining down popcorn. I land hard on my tailbone like I might be injured. And my just first reaction is uncontrollable laughing. Like, oh my God, look at this scene I just created.
Yeah, you
like,
were laughing
that's
so
kind of
hard.
my response.
But my first response when you fell was not to laugh. It
You
was
were
like
embarrassed.
panic. Like
Yes.
not embarrassed, but just, are you okay? I don't find those things enjoyable, even when it's other people. Like, people who love those fail YouTube videos. I do not enjoy that.
I find that to be very strange when people
yeah.
want to watch.
Well, people like to act out their fears. That's why we like horror
I think
movies.
so.
It's
They
why
like
we
to act out their fear.
or they like to see their fears played out in front of them.
And they don't have to experience it, but they get the relief. I think it's in relief of it not being you.
That fail thing is a mirror neuron thing, right? So you're actually experiencing the feeling without having to have done it.
But then why do people like it? You'd think you wouldn't like it. Like, I don't like it because I am feeling like,
Is there something that you do like
Well, you
that
like
people
horror movies. You scream in them and you're scared.
Yeah, I'm
And you
scared.
love it.
yeah, but that's not somebody getting hurt. Well, I guess it is being killed.
Yeah, Liz.
So I'll talk about Liz right now.
Liz was a character from one of the Datelines we watched, and she got convinced that Liz was with us somehow.
It was just outside the
Yeah.
window.
You guys, I don't get any of that stuff. I'm like, keep it away from me. By the way, actually, I have to go to a screening, so I do have to leave in 10
no,
minutes.
we're
which is
done. I'm landing the plane right now.
Okay, I didn't want to get rejected, so I just had to tell you I have to go.
Oh, great, great,
It's like,
great.
and I'm not kidding you. At the minute before my therapy session ends, I don't like when they go like, and that's our time. I go,
Same.
and I know that we're done here, so I'll just wrap it up as in, sobbing. I think I'll head out. So
I have
Yeah,
the
you don't
same
want to be
thing.
abandoned.
no, so I'm leaving.
So I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm the one walking out, Dax.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
No, I'm sorry about
it's
that.
embarrassing. The therapist thing. Okay, here's the point. I show the races every Sunday at my house.
I'm gonna be
You're
there.
invited.
I am so
And
excited.
bring that flaming redhead. I didn't even know he liked F1.
Okay,
He's
and I'm
invited
bringing boyfriend, flaming red, and flaming red girlfriend.
I would love it. It's a party on Sundays. I order breakfast. It's a whole thing.
That sounds very.
You're
very
invited.
fun.
You made the cut. I don't think you care, but you've made the cut. You're invited to Formula One. It's so exciting.
I'm
you
not
like
even
it.
invited.
I
Yes,
do
you
care.
are. I invited you 1,000 times and you don't come and watch the race. You like Formula One, but you don't like the race.
I like it.
Yeah.
Depends.
Is it too long for you?
Sometimes I like coming in and out. If
Yeah.
Danny's doing good, I like watching.
If I come, can you fix my belly button?
Oh shit! Yeah, you guys got to
Yeah.
get on that.
Yep.
Can you clean
I'll
up my
show
belly
you
button?
the video first so you know I'm qualified. And then, I'll get that fucker out
Traumatize
of there.
I
me?
think
With-
hydrogen peroxide.
I'm doing hydrogen peroxide now.
Seems to be working wonders from what Monica's feedback of the situation was. Okay, everyone, I'm telling you now to watch Not Okay on Hulu. It looks great. It truly does.
Yeah, it is.
Zoe Frances Chaya Thompson Deutch. It's been an absolute pleasure. Much love to your sister.
love. Big
and
love.
Everyone watch Not Okay on Hulu now. I hope you come back.
I would love to. You guys are the best. Thanks for letting me pee in front of you.
Thanks for doing
We
it.
loved it. You're in a very
elite group.
A rarefied air.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Did you just wake up?
I woke up at 8.
Oh, and what have you done since then?
I made my tea.
Okay, matcha.
No, Ingy Brecky.
Oh, that's weird because the inside of the cup looks green.
The cup
Geen.
is green and red. It's my Christmas cup.
Oh, but the inside in particular, like imagine you're just looking at the ridge of the inside. It looks like it's smattered in matcha.
You're right. Does look like that.
Well, that's okay. I can move on.
No, let's keep talking about it. So I made my tea. I brushed my teeth.
Brush your teeth. Made my teeth. Brushed my teeth.
Put some oil in my hair.
Argan oil. What kind of oil do you slather in your hair?
It's from True Botanicals. It was a recommendation from Jenny Cho, our
Great. We trust her.
love her, very trusted hairstylist.
Very trusted brand.
I went Pootie.
Oh, wonderful. Me too.
How was yours?
Good. I haven't been up that long myself. Okay.
Tell me about your
Let's
routine.
just be honest. So I woke up at like 8:15. I have to walk around like a church mouse in the bus so other people don't wake up.
Sure. You wake up earlier than everyone.
Yep. And then I normally go out of doors, so that I can journal and then write some prose in my prose journal. But there was a real dramatic storm last night, enough that the automatic awnings had to come in. And so everything was wet. So I knew all the chairs outside would be wet. So then I posted up at the dinette.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And D Money got up pretty early, and she was in a particularly cuddly state. Yeah. Oh, she's so sweet. You know, she falls in love with someone everywhere we go. So on this trip, it's X's sister, Steph.
Oh.
Now, this girl will sleep, right? She'll sleep in the latest. But she was up and at 'em because her and Steph yesterday had spoken about going down to the river and listening to the river noises together.
Oh my gosh,
in the
beautiful.
morning. And I think she thought maybe Steph would be over here very early. So she came out and she was already brushing her hair and preparing to meet Steph to go down and listen to the river noises. She went up to the house very expectantly. Of course, Steph's not home. She has 3 kids, or she's not at the house. And I was mixed between breaking that to her before she got up to the house.
Yeah.
But I know it's best to just stay out of her way. So then she came back down, and then she went down and listened to the river by herself. And I said, "Did you like the noises?" And she said, "Yeah, they were very relaxing. And there's nobody else making noise, so I could hear them." So great distractions. It was hard to get my journal done because there was all this interesting drama happening.
Cuteness.
There was story happening.
Oh, man. That story is not good for my hormones.
It's not. What in what way? Well, okay. Tell me your knee-jerk reaction to it. Why you're sad.
No, I just love her so much.
Yes, she's so special.
Yeah, it hurts.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm even with her and it hurts.
Yeah, you get to be with her though.
I know, but you would think that would help, but there's some level of just preciousness that I don't know. If you could hang on to it to adulthood, I can't imagine. So there's this weird, maybe eerie feeling of, I don't know what it is, but it's so precious and I treasure it.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're kind of about to cry, I can see. Well, now, in fact, I see there is some moisture in your eyes. Oh, these hormones. They're hormoning you.
Yeah.
Hormones are not harmonious.
No, they're not.
No. Oh, are you thinking that you're not going to have a Delta?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think you're going to have a Delta, but a cuter Indian version.
Okay, go on.
Okay, well, but these hormones. Oh, buddy.
Oh, you have fun pajamas on.
Oh, you look like Delta right now, actually. You have the same innocence and preciousness right now. And you have the same face. Well, lots of squeezy parts. You can take a real pinch off those cheeks.
I know. I watched a sad movie yesterday.
Oh, that was a bad idea.
Well, it was for research because we're interviewing someone today, Andrew Solomon. He's like a really big advocate in the LGBTQ community, but he's like written lots of books and is just, like an intellectual. He was recommended by Dov Fox. And anyway, he wrote this book called Far From the Tree. And then there's a documentary also. And so I was like, oh, I should watch that doc. And oh my God, I really want you to watch it. It's like, it's so good. And it's like from 2017. So it's old. Even though we don't like old docs, it's still good.
Right. We're real snobby about that publish date when we're going through our different streamers and we're seeing 2018. And then, what do I always say?
You say yuck.
Nope. I say, well, if it were great, we would have heard about it in 5 years. People would have murmured about it.
I know.
I have a very strict
evaluation. It's unforgiving and it's not fair.
Well, maybe this will turn it on its head.
Okay, good. Okay, far from the tree.
Yeah, and he's gay and his parents were really against it. And so he kind of like starts by saying like, I kind of went on this quest for forgiveness for my parents. And like in doing that, he looked at all these families where essentially, you know, the kid is different from the parents. So there's a Down syndrome boy. There's a kid with autism who doesn't speak.
Okay.
And then there's some little people. Oh, gosh.
Of
and
big parents.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great idea for a doc.
Oh, my God. It's really incredible. The last one is this kid who killed another kid. And so he's in jail.
And his parents had not killed other people.
No.
Okay. Not to make light of it, but also to make light of it.
Yeah, that's right. They weren't criminals.
They weren't convicted killers. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's the, that's as a parent, I suppose that's the very worst outcome.
Well, but that's the big question that comes up, right? Oh, you mean the killing.
Yes. Not having a little person.
Right. But that's what comes up in this conversation. Like, that's what we're going to definitely talk to him about. Like, when we had Huberman on, he was really, like, in awe of this whole process and, like, embryology. He's like, it's such a miracle. And being able to screen, that's, like, a huge part.
Being able to, screen. I thought you said scream. I was like, instead of cry, let out a primal scream.
But what happened? What was
Screen.
Oh, yeah.
The ability to screen.
Yeah.
I don't know that I love it. What's your take on that?
Well, that's okay. That's exact. So before this doc was kind of like, duh, of course. Like I would definitely. Like, I feel like I'm not someone who could handle it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the added stress of like a high needs child.
Yes, mixed with the parenting for life element.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think a real hiccup that is, and this sounds so condescending when I say stuff like this, but I don't know that it's possible before you have a kid to imagine how you'll feel once you have a kid and how much you wouldn't care about that. Like, yes, pre-kids, like what my life's over as I know it. But now that I have two kids, like, if they want to do this for the rest of my life, like, I'm in, I want them to grow up because that's the healthy thing to do. And I want them to have their own lives because that's healthy. But selfishly, I don't want that. I want them to live in my house forever and be at my breakfast table every morning.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
And you would want that too.
Yeah.
I would guess.
I'm sure I would. But there's all this fear. There's a lot of fear that comes. You already have an extreme level of fear when you're parenting. And then I think that adds.
Yeah, they're vulnerable. Certain kids could be vulnerable. Well, did you hear, I'm sure, has Eric told you his story about going to the funeral of a friend's child?
Yes.
And, every once in a while I have to Glassman bop Eric. Uh-huh. So he was sharing about it. He wouldn't care that I'm saying this. And he was saying, he goes to his funeral and this kid was quite physically disabled. He was in a wheelchair his whole life. And the dad, who he's friends with, took this little boy around the world and carted his wheelchair up to the top of pyramids and stuff, And from Eric's point of view, he was saying he just can't imagine being that selfless. And he's in awe of how happy the guy seemed. And I was like, yeah, Eric, are you getting the fucking theme of the story, which is like, being of service equals happiness. Like what seems like a pain in the ass is what equals total happiness. This guy didn't resent it for a moment. We're so selfish, and yet bliss is like selflessness. I don't know. It's a real paradox. Sim.
No, you're right. I think with that story, for me, that boy was 18 and he died.
Yeah, excruciating heartbreak.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, oh my God.
Well, and how about the anxiety of if you die?
Well, that comes up in the stock.
Who now takes care of the love of your life? That's.
Oh, God.
That can make me cry. I'm not even harmonious.
Maybe you got some. Maybe I transferred
I think
some.
we're very mirror neuroni. We're very emotional contagion.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have all these like realities or truths we know in the back of our mind that we aren't on the forefront, but they're affecting so much of the forefront. Our own mortality. Like that's like steering so many things that I don't think we're conscious of. The fact that your parents are going to die before you do, is burbling back there. So that's like, the reality. Everything dies. That's a weird reality.
Yeah, I hate
and
that.
you just kind of ignore the whole thing. But then I think it percolates up in different areas that feel like it's one thing. It's like, no, it's just kind of the overall dread of reality.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so I watched that sad movie and happy. It was sad and happy.
Oh, good. I watched a fucking crazy great documentary over the last 2 nights. It's a 2-parter. You remember that great sports series called Untold?
Yes.
Well, there's at least there's 2 new episodes. I don't know if there's more, but this you're going to hate. I mean, you're going to be I'm livid. I'm livid.
What?
There is this football player, Manti Rayo, I think is his name. Manti. And he's from Hawaii. He is Mormon.
Okay.
He was the perfect child. The parents kept saying how obedient he was. He's the perfect athlete. He talks about this trinity of faith, family, and football, how they really all share like a same thing, which is like discipline, loyalty, obedience, whatever.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet boy. And he goes away to Notre Dame, which is its own story because he didn't want to go there, but he is doing the right thing, goes there. He's really great there. He meets a girl online. He falls in love with this girl. He's in, South Bend, Indiana. She's in California. She's also Polynesian. And he's Mormon, right? So he's not trying to fuck. So this is almost like a perfect relationship for him.
Yeah.
And this goes on for a long, long time. And going into his senior year, another crazy thing, he decides not to go to the NFL, which he could have. He's like,
Weird.
He's this kind of guy. He's like, I'm going to do my whole commitment there. He couldn't be a nicer guy. His grandmother dies on the same day that his girlfriend dies. And so he's devastated. And he decides,
Oh my God.
he decides his senior year is going to be entirely about honoring these 2 people. And he says so. And has an outrageous senior year. He's like so good. He's a defensive tackle or defensive end. I forget the name of it. And his story becomes enormous. Like Anderson Cooper's talking about. There's a woman on the Senate floor talking about Manti. And it's really inspirational. This is 2012.
Okay.
He's so good that year that he becomes one of the 3 finalists to win the Heisman Trophy. And he's still in contact with the girlfriend's cousins, a brother, a sister, blah, 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 blah. He gets a call a week before the Heisman. He's talking to what he believes is the sister of his dead girlfriend. In the middle of talking to her, she says, "It's me.
Wait, what?
It's me. I didn't die." And he's like, What are you talking about? He's talked to her on the phone a million times. He has all these voice messages from her. And now he's like, I don't know what kind of game you're playing with me. And he gets kind of really freaked out. So he goes to the Heisman and he doesn't know what to do because he's been telling people for a year his girlfriend's dead. He just found out on the phone that maybe she's alive.
What the fuck?
He is on stage and they're asking him about it again. And he's like, I don't know. Is this the moment I would say I think she might be alive? I don't really know what's going on. Simultaneously to this, some people at, I don't know, one of these websites, they get a tip. There never was a girlfriend. They start investigating this woman that she doesn't exist. What it all turns out to be, and in the doc, you're hearing from the woman who did all this, who is then a guy. So she's transitioned. It was before catfishing was a thing, and it was a guy, and the guy was in love with Manti and perpetuated this entire thing. This isn't even the worst part.
Oh my God.
So he goes from the most loved college athlete alive, and he fucking deserves it. He's such an amazing player. He's such a good boy. And then it flips. He never had a girlfriend. There is no dead girlfriend. Hoax, 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 hoax. Everyone's saying, oh, this was a whole ruse. He's gay. Like tons of gay shaming.
Oh my God.
Memes, people making jokes. He was a first round draft pick for sure. Doesn't get drafted in the first round. Goes in the second round, goes to San Diego. When he gets there, there's a cartoon in the paper of him walking down the beach with his arm around nothing, saying, we're going to love San Diego. He becomes a laughing stock of
Oh my God.
the country. Talk show hosts making jokes about him. Everyone teasing him.
Oh.
The next 3 years, he completely loses his way as an athlete. He's like, I'm numb. He goes, I walk out on the field in San Diego and my whole body's numb and I can't connect with the thing. I can't do the thing I could do in college. Everyone's laughing at me. This fucking kid got his entire life ruined doing nothing wrong. Like being in love with a girl, not being pervy, not saying send me naked pics. Like me, I couldn't have had a girlfriend online for more than a week. If she didn't send me nudie pics, I would have been out. I'm a piece of shit. This guy's reward for being a good dude is the whole country starts teasing him. Oh my God, Monica, I've never been so angry at everything in the world
Oh my God.
than when watching this. And that was his life. Like, he had an okay career in the NFL, not great. He should have had an incredible career in the NFL. It really was impossible for him to not be self-conscious. He goes to the combine, you know, where they test you before you enter the draft. At the height of it, media everywhere he leaves. He walks into the dining room where all the players are eating. He walks in there, we're all talking, everyone's having a good time. He enters and it goes dead quiet and it just stays dead quiet and he sits by himself. I mean,
No. I mean, I'm impressed he survived that.
he's so inspirational. Of course, I'm like, I want to interview this guy. He's so special and deserves, I don't know, just for someone to say, like, God, did you get fucked? Like, this is so unjust. It's crazy. Great doc. Great doc. I recommend it.
Also really good for the Untold guys, which I'm pretty sure are the Wild Wild Country peeps.
Yeah.
For doing that and for like showing this side of that story. Ew, I hate everyone.
I do too. And you know, it's like, God, I got both things in my head working at the same time. It's like, I get it. Like, everyone wants to have a laugh and some things are sitting right there. And, you know, why not have a laugh?
Expense. No.
Well, what it forced me to recognize, if you know anyone's full story, like, this is why no one was a monster. Like, the people that were hearing like snippets of it, and maybe they thought he did fucking lie and say my girlfriend died for a year. That's gross. So they're getting snippets and then they're just, you know, then having fun with it as you would do. So it's like, part of it's not anyone's fault. It's just, if you knew the whole story, no one's so monstrous they would have perpetuated that whole thing. It really made me mad. This will make me sound like Trump, but it made me mad at the media. Because it's like the guys who broke this story, their whole thing where they say, like, you know, our mission is to prove that these other big media outlets didn't check their facts. And it's like, okay. They are pointing out, like, sometimes articles said they had been together this long, sometimes that long. Maybe she died this day. Like, they were exposing these. And it's like, okay, it's not like that's the most noble cause. Who gives a fuck if sports outlets are getting the, you know, some of these details wrong? And then the machine that just clicks into high gear. And it's not news. It's not holding the powers that be accountable. It's not the fourth estate. It's just trashy entertainment.
Yeah.
So much of the media is fucking trashy entertainment. And then this poor girl whose pictures had been used to build this fake profile. Well, her name comes out in it. So now this woman who's done nothing other than had a social media account, now she's walking out of her job and there's hundreds of, quote, media people swarming her. It's like, nobody has a barometer here.
Oh my God. In the doc, do they talk to the trans woman?
Yes. And it's very, again, like, from what you've heard of this story, you probably be inclined to hate that person because that person ultimately did cause all this. But you see her story and you're like, oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she's lonely and she actually gets to be in love. You know, it's all sad. And the dude, of course, Manti's got like the most forgiving, beautiful attitude about her.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay, now I'm going to shift gears to much more trivial stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Well, one is a news bulletin.
Oh,
One's a house cleaning news bulletin.
okay.
And I say this with love, compassion, and empathy. I get many, many messages from people asking for me to help them with sobriety. I would love to have that availability for a million people. I would never, ever want to turn down someone. But if you're listening, you don't need me. You just need to walk into an AA meeting. Like you literally just need to walk into one. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. Walk into one. And there's a million me's sitting there that are dying to help you.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know, like, I'm in every town if you think you need help from me. Just go into a meeting is what I would urge everyone to do. My advice is just go to a meeting and everyone there knows how to help you back. So I just wanted to say that.
That's really sweet. I'm glad you said that. And that's a really good job of you and your ego.
In what way? That I'm not like uniquely skilled at helping someone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not. There's, in fact, if we ranked the people I knew in AA, I would be mid-level at best as far as helping.
I don't know that that's...
No, I mean, there's just some extraordinary places made up of some pretty extraordinary, helpful, generous people.
Well, my house cleaning is also compassion driven. We had a episode of Armchair Anonymous. So this is like a few weeks ago on stealing. And we got a lot of comments that I didn't love.
Okay.
And they were singling one of our stories out and one of the people out, and they were criticizing her.
What story?
The antiquity. They were calling her privileged. And
Sure.
And a lot. And it was, in my opinion, really unacceptable. Like, it's not acceptable on our platform to do that. Actually, the purpose of Armchair Anonymous is a safe place so that people can come and like share a thing that
Own their mistakes. She wasn't claiming it as a victory story.
Exactly. Own your mistakes and be vulnerable and honest. And if you tear someone down for that, all you're reiterating is that they're bad and shameful and that they should keep secrets. And it's literally the opposite of what we're trying to do. So please think twice before you comment.
Did you block those people?
Honestly, I was like, should we just turn comments off? Should we delete them? And I don't want to do that because I want our community to build and I want people who are excited,
Engaged. Or, yeah.
Yeah, and who can relate. I want them to be able to comment, but I will turn them off if it starts getting negative because
Well,
people...
I like just blocking people who are in the shame trade. I'm so quick on the block. If you're ever commenting on me to shame me, you're out. I don't ever really need to read anything from you again.
Yeah.
Like I post pictures from the vacation. One of them is at Mount Rushmore. And yeah, I get a couple of bozos who now this is their stage to virtue signal to everyone. Nice picture with the white supremacists. It's like, I can't imagine you've done a single thing to help the world other than fucking sling shade on the goddamn internet.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, if like that's your instinct, is see a little back of a little girl pulling a Barbie car, and this is your opportunity to virtue signal about the white supremacists. Also, none of them black.
Yes, very frustrating. But yeah, anyway, I just want to put that out there. Like, we see it and I'm monitoring it and I will do something about it if things progress that way, because that's just not what we're doing here. It's just not what we're doing here.
Yeah. If you got a judgment you want to levy against somebody, tell your friend that listens. Why don't you guys go gossip about it at coffee? But if you want to shame someone who's participated in the show on our public platform, then write the best one, because that'll be the last one we read.
Yeah. Okay, so your motorhome.
Yeah, so I think I was honest, which was hard for me to do. I don't know if you know how hard it was for me to admit that I had damaged the motorhome, because I have this identity as I'm a flawless driver. So that was hard.
I'm proud of you. That's a big deal.
I didn't shrivel up and die afterwards, which was shocking.
Good. You know what happened is like people barely remember. Like,
I don't even think they listened to that part. And now I'm about to give them an update on something that meant nothing to them to begin with. So yeah, it's
well, I don't mean that.
No.
I don't mean it's not important. I'm just saying the weight you carry versus like I
couldn't agree more.
remember that part of the story, but what I definitely didn't hear is you messed up the motorhome. Like, that's
Well, I
not-
definitely, so, it has these huge cargo doors underneath the bus. They're huge. I don't know what they are. They're, they're like the size of a huge flat screen TV. Well, I bent 3 of them. 2 of them really quite bad where I couldn't open them.
Nobody else can drive this.
Well. Yeah, my defense is, man, I was in someone's backyard in the middle of the night with trees everywhere. It's shocking I didn't do more damage, to be honest. I still got to pull it out of here. That's like kind of hovering above me. It's like, wow, will I be able to get out now without further damage? At any rate, and this is, talk about a Sisyphean.
Sisyphean. I think that's what I say.
Okay, the guy who carries the boulder up the hill over and over again, and it rolls down every day. Weirdly, I was watching something else, and some famous philosopher said Sisyphus actually knew the secret to life. He seems like a fable of pointlessness and all that, but that in his work every day, he had purpose and finished each day proud. And that it's not a tale. And I don't know who said it, but I was like, oh, that's a great take on Sisyphus.
I like it's not results oriented, it's process oriented.
Yeah, do your work, go to bed. He goes to bed every night, the rock's on top of the hill, right? I guess. I don't know the fable all that well, but.
Oh, I thought he.
It doesn't roll down in front of him, does it? Or maybe it does.
I thought it was
Wouldn't
like
they kill him?
always falling on him.
Oh, I thought he rolls it to the top of the hill and then it doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll look it up.
The point is I definitely rolled the rock up the hill yesterday, which is like, I take these doors off, which is a whole fiasco. I've got to like cut a bunch of electrical cords that I then later have to splice back together. And then my attempt is I'm going to try to hammer out the damage. It's aluminum, not easy to do that. I take them off. I start trying to rebend it all to make it look. And here's the point. I'm going to have it fixed. There's like what I did yesterday is not an acceptable cure for the damage, but I did reshape the doors enough. And then I painted the bottom third because the scratches were so bad. The real goal of it was so that I can't see it at like 20 feet away, so that for the rest of the trip, I'm not seeing it 10 times a day and getting angry.
I think that's totally fine. Did you feel good after?
Back to Sisyphus, it was like 6 hours of my day and I was in total flow. I loved doing mechanical stuff.
Exactly.
I loved trying to figure out how am I going to make this look a little better? It was my day. And I got them on last night at like 9:30. I respliced everything. I shut them. And by God, they do look 90% better.
Good.
If you're 5 feet away. I'll send you some pics. You won't care, but I'll send you some pics.
Send me.
I also hit my head incredibly hard.
No.
Yes. I shut one of the doors and then I tested it to see if it would open with ease, and it was stuck. And then I gave it a good fucking jerk, and I just opened it straight into the side of my head on my temple.
Oh my God.
Yeah, really rung my bell. It's I've got some swelling today.
Be careful.
And also, it's fine. It's kind of like if you work out in the gym and the next day it hurts, you're like, well, I did something.
No.
I mean, it's not the same, but it is a physical reminder that I got after it yesterday in some capacity. Okay, I'm going to throw out one more thing. I guess it's still in the public service realm, but just to service Aaron and I. So by the time you're listening to this, now Aaron and I will be in the bus. No more kids. I've got 2 things I'm a little stressed about. We have a very important interview.
Yes.
Very important. And I need bulletproof internet, right?
Right.
But I'm on the road. So I'm already starting to think like, how the fuck am I going to ensure that we are somewhere where I have bulletproof internet for that interview? Also, I really want to do some trail riding with Aaron. We've got motorcycles. I had a lot of fun trail riding here in North Dakota. I remembered how much I enjoy trail riding. Also, the bus needs a 50 amp. So here's what I'm saying. If you live on some property and you have a 50 amp plug in awesome internet and riding trails, and you live somewhere between Indianapolis and Los Angeles.
Wow.
Hit Aaron or I in the comments. That's what I'm putting out into the universe. Who knows? Maybe someone's at home going like, holy fuck, I have all those things.
Who knows? This is like Rob and the restaurant or me and the painting. This could be great.
Yes, Fonsu Mansour.
And Mansour.
And Mansour.
Do you
and Mansour.
see her painting?
Oh, gorgeous Mansours.
Beautiful.
Beautiful Mansours.
Okay, well, that's great. I have facts. This is for Zoey Deutch.
I loved Zoey Deutch.
Me too. She's my style icon. Speaking of one of the facts, I did want to shout out because I did talk about her being my style icon a fair amount. Her stylist's name is Elizabeth Stewart. I follow her on Instagram.
Great.
I love her.
Do you think her girlfriends call her Liz too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost sounds like Lizzo. Another service announcement. Desperately want Lizzo.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
I've tried. I'll keep trying. But yes, if you're out there and you're Lizzo's best friend.
Yeah. I mean, we know you're not listening, Lizzo. So, but if anyone in Lizzo's life can tell her. Also, because we're just begging, Kendrick Lamar. Gotta have Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Did Callie work on Set It Up? Yes. She did that whole campaign, trailer, and art.
She did the shit out of it.
She did. It was a huge hit. So congrats to Callie. Okay. So I have some bad news. I think Zoe's wrong about what a succubus is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an honest mistake.
Of course. And that's actually better because she thinks it's like spikes in her puss.
Oh, but a succubus, is that the guy who rolls the rock up the hill every day? Succubus? Well, really quick, though, in her defense, as I remember it, she just was telling us what people in high school called her.
Yeah, succubus. And then we were like, what's that?
Oh, yeah. But I don't know if she was telling us what they thought it meant. But anyways, what does it mean?
Whatever. A succubus is a demon or supernatural entity in folklore in female form that appears in dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. It's a siren. Ooh. You did say, is it like a siren?
Pussy siren.
Well, no, it has nothing to do with that. I guess that's the whole thing.
I know.
Okay. Okay, according to religious traditions, repeated sexual activity with a succubus can cause poor physical or mental health, even death. The succubus is also known as the earth wanderer. She seeks her victims by disguising herself as a young, beautiful woman seducing men.
Oh, that makes sense for her in high school. Zoe, young, beautiful woman. I don't know about the seducing men part, but weirdly a compliment within there.
Yeah, but they were using it to bully, so it was bad. And I guess they told her it was about spikes in her pussy. But it's not.
Right.
It's not, so she can sleep.
Do you think people that have spikes in their vaginas, when they have PQs,
it hurts?
It's lethal?
I think it is dangerous, but that adds to the excitement.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's like during my shots, I've had some blood.
Yeah.
At first I was scared, but now I find it kind of exciting.
Oh, can I just say, that video of you guys at Amazon is the cutest thing I've ever witnessed. Who shot that and edited it?
Liz.
Lizzo?
Lizzo. She is the social media queen. Like, really, she's so talented at it, and it's really funny, and this will come out in the show. But, like, I obviously, everyone knows, I'm not a social media queen. I hardly participate. I do the bare minimum.
You're the social media succubus.
Well, I don't think my social media has spikes or is deceiving men.
Well, just if she was the queen of social media, we had to give you a title. And
okay.
I feel like succubus is a nice one.
Fine. I guess I'll be in Zoe's camp because it's a cool camp. Anyway, I am so grateful that she has that knowledge, knows what to do, is getting this content because we need it for when we promote the show and stuff. And so it's a very good yin and yang.
Someone is really clever because how are you guys posting from? You guys have a shared account now.
Yeah, you can collab.
Who knows how to do that?
She does. She taught me.
Oh my God. How do you collab? I never seen a button on my thing that said collab. Can I just add you to stuff and force you to collab? Or you guys got to sign on at the exact same time? Or what happened?
You can do it, but it's on Reels only.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll start doing more videos and we can start doing it.
Yeah, I would love that.
It's fun.
I want to collab. I felt left out and like I'm old that I don't know how to collab.
Oh, I didn't know how. And
okay.
I'm only, in a week, I'll be geriatric pregnancy.
Speaking of which, August 24th, just knocking on the back door here.
It's this week. Anywho, yeah, we had really fun at the Amazon store.
You had really fun at the Amazon store. Anyways, we had really fun at the Amazon store. Should I go to the Amazon store? I definitely want to go there for a collab.
Okay, we can do that. Okay. I DM'd Danny to ask, do F1 drivers really pee themselves?
Oh, great.
He hasn't responded yet, so this is a TBD.
Okay.
Okay, it is Caroline in the city, not Carolyn. Caroline.
Great.
She said she was maybe breastfeeding, like she was getting breastfed during that time.
On the set, yeah.
Yeah. And that show ran from 95 to 99. And Zoe was born in 94, so they probably shot it.
Before it aired.
So she's probably right.
And also she could have been breastfed till she was 1 or 2.
Or 7.
Maybe 10.
Maybe still. Oh, I was going to play this clip for you that you like.
Oh, I love clips.
Thank you. Break his heart or break your face.
Oh, Mary Stuart Masterson, you break his heart, I'll break your face. She wears drumming gloves everywhere.
Yeah, she had it
That's
in
a
this.
big swing.
I was confused because she looked like a valet.
Oh, yeah, of course. She might have been.
I know, because she opens the door for them.
Yeah, she might have been working at the spot they came to.
Yeah. Okay. Is Hashimoto's serious? It can be. It can be. Because the hormones produced by the thyroid are so vital to the body's functions. Untreated Hashimoto's can lead to serious and even life-threatening complications. These include goiter, high cholesterol, heart disease, depression, and other mental health issues, birth defects in babies born to women with long-term untreated Hashimoto's, and myxedema, which is a rare and potentially fatal coma.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. We can still laugh at it or no?
Yeah, because there's side effects for everything.
Right. It's just such a great name, Hashimoto's.
It reminds me of that baby who eats bok choy.
Yes, of course it does. Although that baby, we should be clear, does not, that we know of, have Hashimoto's.
No, not yet. Okay, I have another big reveal.
Oh.
In my research, and I did a lot, and I'm going to get some flack for this, I know. A lot of places, including trusted brands, say antiperspirant's actually fine.
I want that to be fine. I'd love to start using it again.
Oh, don't use it.
Oh, okay. But what if it's fine?
It says it's fine, but it's one of those things like my brain won't hear it,
It does sound, if there is aluminum in antiperspirant, that sounds bad.
There is, but it says, does that mean the dissolved aluminum salt will be absorbed and trapped in your body? Research published by the National Center for Biotechnology Information suggests that frequent can cause aluminum to accumulate in breast tissue, but this doesn't prove that aluminum salts can cause breast cancer. In fact, breast cancer tissue doesn't seem to contain more aluminum than normal breast tissue. If you have
this is
bad
tempting.
kidney problems, you shouldn't do it, though.
Okay, I don't think I do.
I don't want to find out, so don't do it, okay?
Okay, I'm off of it. I'm going to stay with just my deodorant. That works plenty good.
It works real good. You never smell bad.
Good. That's all we care about.
All right. I think those are all my facts for today. Succubus, TBD Danny. Yeah, also Botox in the armpits often does temporarily block chemicals that signal it's time for your glands to produce sweat.
Oh, okay. What do you think about Botox? I don't wrestle with this enough to explore that.
Don't do that. I think sweating's like hot.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's a great mechanism to cool you down. You don't want to hamper that. Yesterday, I was sweating bullets doing all that weird stuff.
And you felt better because of it.
Well, I probably would have overheated and died.
Oh my God. Scary.
Yeah. Right. So that was all the fackies?
It was all for Zoe.
All right, a lot of good recs, doc recs, some slaps on the wrist to shamers, a whole bunch of stuff.
Crying.
A little bit of crying to start things off, ending on a smile. Look at that. The whole gamut.
Oh, man.
Well, I love you.
I love you.
Bye.